WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Just want to tell you, good morning. Another late, stinking night. Luckily, the next time the Bills play, it'll be at night. That blows. Good morning, Andrew Dominio. Were you up to watch this
morning? I did watch most
game
of
that
it.
you picked Miami?
Yes, I did pick Miami. I picked Miami and said I was going to root for the Bills because I had to. Until we got a lot of the listeners in, I had to.
You talk while I get something to drink.
I had to possibly offset the fact that everybody else was, going to be rooting for the Bills or selecting the Bills. But I was happy to see them win. It's a long season. I'll make it up tenfold with other picks going on down the line.
Make it up this weekend.
And
Megan is in for Davey this morning. Megan, Good morning.
Do
that. Why did that happen?
I don't know.
I'm trying to turn her mic up, and I hit the wrong one. Can you fix that problem?
What problem to fix?
I started the stop sign.
No, it's fine.
All right. Megan, good morning. Good morning. She's in for Davey. Megan gave me this tip on throat spray. What is the throat spray? Can you explain?
The throat spray is called Singer Saving Grace, and how I found it is that I knew someone who competed on American Idol, made it to the top 24, and she said this is what everybody was using. And so I know when you had that frog in your throat.
Yeah, I used it last night, and immediately my throat swelled up. It was awful.
No, did it?
I couldn't speak.
I think I'm allergic to it or something. Terrible.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
I've been had like a hot compress on my throat all morning.
Benadryl.
I swear it was not an assassination attempt, Bill.
I'm just saying. Actually, I am kidding. I haven't tried it yet, but
you just gave me the biggest heart attack, Bill.
I might need to. Feeling like a little off today. I just hate these games late at night. It just blows. So we're doing this little. Sorry about that, Megan. We're doing this.
You're forgiven.
This little competition where we pick the games, and let's see. Anybody who picked Buffalo last night
is ahead.
Not only picked Buffalo, but holy cow, Miami just looked terrible.
Yeah, they did, and I don't know that Tyreek Hill played any of the game.
He did play.
Well, not much. He was on the bench a lot.
Not much at all. I know.
He maybe. I didn't see the opening quarter, the first 10 minutes of the game, so I don't know if he went out with injury or what. And then
it was early on. He was, but again, very. He may have had one reception, or I don't remember, to be honest with you.
And then Tua Tagovailoa went down with a concussion, which he's prone to. Which is not good.
Some criticism of Al Michaels from Bills fans. They said that Al Michaels did not get excited enough when there were exciting plays. And I believe that he actually injured himself pronouncing Tua Tagovailoa's last name. Because he was butchering it a couple times, slurring his way through it a few times. But think about it. The guy's 79 years old. He still looks pretty darn good.
He still sounds good.
And he sounds good. And maybe he doesn't get excited, but he's been calling games for how long? He's like, oh, great. Guess what? There's another touchdown. Yeah, right? It's like Groundhog Day. They score. Maybe that's what's going on.
And I've heard he uses this throat spray.
Yes.
And it helps.
Saving grace.
Yeah,
yep.
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it helps to extend the life of your voice.
Well, you could see by the hot compresses on his throat last night. Megan, I haven't tried it yet, and it just came yesterday via Amazon.
Oh.
Amazon.
That's where we found it. I got a bunch to go with today. Do we have a sheet, or we're just going to go without that?
Yeah, sorry.
I'll pull it up over here. Don't worry.
I gotta.
Okay. Anyway, Willy Waffle coming up in a few minutes. We have people that are going to have to. They're competing in this. We selected and added one more yesterday.
Yeah, we have 4 listeners, and then 3 of us.
And then the three of us competing by simply picking the games.
Pick the stuff.
So it's you're picking wins, and who's up 1-0? I did pick the Bills.
You Davey, Wayne.
Everybody else picked Miami. I got to tell you, there was a point when I picked the Bills. I'm like, am I picking the Bills because
You're a fan?
I'm a fan?
Yeah.
And I said, no, I just think I think they're really going to put it together tonight. And I don't know.
You have to look at things like
I thought other than the one fumble by Josh Allen, which he minimized the damage there, and he had that glove on his hand that was big. Other than that, I thought the Bills looked really good last night.
Yeah, they did, and I was just kind of looking at it from a standpoint of, well, if the Bills win, I'll be happy for them, and if they lose, I'll have a pick. So
Richard says, wow, Tua, which is what Al Michaels should have followed the advice that I gave you. Either say, and there the Miami quarterback going back, or there he goes, or there goes Tua.
Tua,
instead
right?
of trying to pronounce the name. That's part of the problem there. Anyway, a big win for the Bills. Richard says, I think Tua will be finished. It's his third or fourth concussion. And Allen's hand isn't looking all that good either. And for Andrews quarterback Love, it looks like many more weeks out, or maybe at the very least just much longer. So we'll see what happens there. Former President Donald Trump yesterday made an announcement that there will be no debate. After saying yes, bring it on. Yesterday, I think what he's saying is, I beat her so badly in the debate. Why would I give her another chance to redeem herself? What are we talking about?
Oh, yeah. The first, for a billionaire stepped out for the first private spacewalk.
Okay.
Thursday.
I saw some of that.
Sorry, Megan's grabbing the sheets for us.
All right, good. Anyway, there will be no second debate as of right now. So I find that to be kind of interesting.
Well, I want to get to thank you, Megan.
And we'll talk about
Richard's comment because I don't know where he saw
We'll
that.
talk about that coming up in a second. Let's go to Evan Brown, who is with Fox News Radio, of course. And as Andrew said, yesterday, a billionaire stepping out for the first time on a private spacewalk. And his reaction, I thought, was quite priceless. Evan Brown, good morning.
Good morning. So we had a private spacewalk yesterday, the first ever. And billionaire Jared Isaacman, who paid for the flight on a SpaceX Dragon capsule with three other people, helped SpaceX to test out their new spacewalking spacesuit. So we got to see the video of this as it happened. It was really quite spectacular. You could see Isaacman leaving from his helmet camera coming out through the hatch at the top of the capsule, and then there was another camera that could see him outside of the hatch, moving around, testing out the spacesuit. I can move my arms, I can move my legs, I can move my neck, this, that, and the other thing. But what was really so pretty was just that Earth was just right in front of him, huge.
I know. Yeah.
It was just such that marble blue thing that we've all seen before. But again, when you're seeing it live and you're getting this beautiful HD video picture from space, it's still kind of mind bending.
It really is. Yeah. I would love to do that, but I fear I have some claustrophobia. I don't think I could ever do it because they're in a pretty tight. They're confined to some tight quarters going out into space.
Well, the Dragon is not the smallest of capsules. It's much bigger than say like the old Apollo type capsules.
Right.
But you don't have a lot of space. You're right. There's no privacy. Let's put it that way. So except for the bathroom, I think. But that's I guess that might be a small price to pay.
I guess.
Except for the big price to pay to go to space.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Evan, when is Fox going to send you up there for a special report? I mean, I think of anybody.
To be honest with you, I don't know that we're that far off from something like that.
Well, I've often offered to do that for the team, but they seem to laugh at me. But there had always been this talk about sending a journalist to space. Walter Cronkite had tried. That was the big talk, was that Walter Cronkite had tried to do it. Miles O'Brien of CNN also had tried. These things. they're very expensive, obviously,
yeah.
and so it's not something that someone can do lightly yet. But the point is that through commercial space, that it becomes less expensive, and it is now less expensive to go to space. I mean, the Blue Origin company, the Jeff Bezos company, who sends people on those suborbital flights. I think it's I don't exactly know the price. I think it's something in the six figures, but it used to be 8 or 9 figures.
Right. It's come way down.
Right.
Yeah.
So the point that they have these reusable, recoverable rockets and whatnot. It's the technology has progressed so quickly, and at some point it will become more feasible for people to go to space, not just for pleasure cruising or thrill seeking, but to go live, to go work, and do different things that we can't necessarily do on Earth. But for Elon Musk, who says to just simply become interplanetary, to have real estate is the one thing they're not making any more of, right? So eventually we need more space.
Yeah,
and
yes, and as the weather changes, and who knows how long this is going to be the safest of all places to live. We're going to be okay probably in the next 100 years, but what are we going to look like in 500 years? So this exploration could be very, very important.
Well, it all very well could be, and not necessarily just to escape a problem on Earth, but just simply to expand humanity. We've done good things with our time here. As bad as things have gotten among humans, we've also done a lot of good, and there are ways to propagate.
Let me just tell you a little tip here, and then we'll let you go, Eben. About 15 years ago, I wanted to have a commercial for our radio show in the Super Bowl, and they were quite expensive locally. Nothing like you'd spend nationally, but it was, $10,000. So I did what is called the endorsement commercial, and I got 30 sponsor plugs in during a 30-second commercial, and I had logos posted all over me. It was totally a sellout, but I got the commercial in the Super Bowl. Maybe that's how you get to space.
There you go.
I don't know if there's enough tattoo space on me to put logos. That's what they're going to expect me to do, is to kind of permanently be branded.
That would be actually it. So, all right, as always, we appreciate it, Evan. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
You bet. Take care.
Evan Brown from Fox News Radio. What else today? Here, Putin is. I got to tell you, Ukraine is on the verge of going deeper into Russia. This is quite interesting to watch as Ukraine, obviously with the help of the West, the help of us, Ukraine is actually in a competitive war. What you would have thought that Russia would have just wiped them up in the first couple of months or even weeks. But this is a competitive war now. The problem you have is Putin has nuclear weapons. Well, technically, so does Zelensky, because we do.
Yeah.
The problem is, are we on the verge of and Trump mentioned it during the debate, are we on the verge of a world war at this point? Putin says if Ukraine continues to go deep into Russia, that it will be a fight. Russia will have a fight with not only Ukraine, but the entire West, and it will come to their land.
Great.
That's his threat. So I realize we're probably not paying all the attention in the world to that, but it's a little nerve-wracking, I would say, at this point.
I would say so.
You want to comment on Richard? Go ahead. He has another comment as well here this morning.
Just maybe reiterate his post or his email about Jordan Love. It's no surprise he'll be out 3 to 6 weeks. I think that Coach Matt LaFleur said that he's on probably the lower end of that scale, luckily, based on testing and rehab so far and all that. So he definitely won't be playing week 2, but
Adam Schefter reported it last night. Love will be sidelined for quite some time. Andrew probably never heard. Have you ever heard of him, Andrew?
Who? Adam Schefter?
Yeah. He is ESPN's top injury analyst, Andrew. That's Richard taunting you right now.
Okay, well,
just for the record.
Who's his team? That's what I would like to know. Is he a Bills fan?
I don't know. I would imagine
probably a Giants fan.
Maybe a Giants fan.
Yeah. Well, everything I've heard is 3 to 6 weeks.
So far, we've been looking at Destiny's Child, Sangertown Square, and a lot of stores have moved out. It looks like a different mall, doesn't it? Right now, the company that owns Destiny USA is on the verge of having one of its malls repossessed. Can you imagine this?
I mean, then what happens? You know, I mean, they were similar. Remember Shopping Town Mall?
I mean, yes, there is the belief that, and there's news stories to back this up, that they're late on their payments in Syracuse, and they are in a position where they could be foreclosed on, but that hasn't happened. Another mall somewhere else that they own has been foreclosed on, and they've lost it. So how bad is this?
Yeah, that's pretty bad, especially for the stores in there, because you gotta imagine that there's franchisees that own these different stores within the mall. Will they be displaced?
And I got to tell you, what you're seeing is a lot more businesses that are, Spencer's. There are a lot of Spencer's type businesses that you've never heard about that are winding up in the malls these days.
Yeah, because they're so desperate to get some sort of
they'll
payment.
take anybody. Yeah,
they'll let anybody in.
It used to be very, very competitive. It used to be, sorry, we already have one of those stores or two of those stores.
Right.
We won't rent to you. Now it's like, did you say you want to rent space?
Yes, yeah, whatever you want.
We'll get you right in. Did you know that New York State, albeit in the Adirondacks, way up north, that we actually had our first snow back on I believe, September 6th? It was a dusting of snow, but we actually had our first bit of snow. That's terrible.
Yeah, well, I hate the thought of it.
Hate the thought of it. We're in a bit of a competition where we're all picking 3 winners, or we hope are winners. 3 games, a Thursday night game, a Sunday game, and a Monday night game. And Wayne is on the line right now. Wayne, good morning. Are you ready to make your picks?
Yes.
So Wayne picked Miami, or did you pick
No, he
Buffalo?
picked Buffalo.
All right, good pick there, Wayne. You're 1-0.
P.
All right, what do you want to go with?
I'm going to go with Baltimore over the Raiders.
Okay.
So we're actually only picking. You have to pick from
Sunday or Monday?
You have to either pick.
Sunday or Monday. Okay.
No. Sunday and Monday.
No,
Sunday.
so
no. Nope, I'm wrong.
You have to either we pick 3 games, and then you have to pick from those 3 games that we pick, so that it's consistent.
Okay, so spit them out.
I see.
Bears, Texans, and then Falcons, Eagles.
Okay.
I'll take the Eagles on that, and then who'd you say, the Bears?
The Bears and the Texans.
It's a hard one, the Bears and Texans. Houston. Well, you know what? I think the Bears have been doing all right, but I don't know. I kind of think that Houston's better than the Bears. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Bears over them. I'm gonna go with that quarterback in the Bears.
Okay. And I'm duplicating Wayne's picks, so put me down.
This may be a chance for me to make up ground.
You might be able to.
I think the Bears are a joke, and I think they got lucky last week. So,
well, we'll find out.
Caleb Williams is a good quarterback, and we'll see. All right,
Wayne. Enjoy your
Wayne with the Eagles and the Bears.
Yep.
All right.
I'm Eagles.
You go no further. You go no further in the line. You got too many products.
Okay.
You go no further.
Right,
okay, bye, guys.
Wayne, thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to talk about yesterday. If you were around New Hartford yesterday, there's a story up on our website. At around 7 o'clock, everything was shut down. There were power outages in New Hartford. There was a fire that was reported inside the New Hartford Shopping Center. And
this is a crazy story.
And it looks like there was smoke inside the family fun zone or whatever that place is. And I don't know what else we know, but there were some power lines that ended up getting burned out, and power went out for much of New Hartford yesterday. Traffic lights were out. There was Utica police, New Hartford police were in and directing traffic. It was quite a scene yesterday in New Hartford. We still don't know a ton of what went down. Have you gotten anything more out of that?
Nothing further right now at this time.
All right, let me break quickly, and then we'll speak with Willie Waffle on the weekend. And there's a couple of things that we have been watching and streaming. Andrew, you might want to do the same. When we come back, before Willie, Jake is going to make his picks as well and get them out of the way. Stand by, Jake. We'll get to you as well, coming right up at WIBX.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
That's terrific. Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Paleo, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. Here in Utica, we're not just growing, we are flourishing. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
El Señor Tequila Bar and Grill, 103 Genesee Street, New Hartford. Upstate Ink and Thread, 9443 River Road, Marcy. The Network at 600 French, 600 French Road, Utica.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
Hey, Jen. OMG, look how busy it is in here. How'd you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker for us. For a long time, we had decent business coming in from word of mouth, but we weren't growing. Lately, though, a lot of new folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific. I wish I could figure out how to do that for my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you'd think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are for businesses like yours.
Okay, then what?
If you see that there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
There's only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, are we back? Sorry to those people trying to listen on the app. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. All this is automated, so the minute something goes wrong, All hell breaks loose.
All hell.
Jake, quickly, I want to get your picks in there. You have two games to pick, and I didn't realize this is how we're doing it, but it makes sense. You have to pick the same. We all pick the same games.
Yeah.
So I know you picked Miami yesterday.
Right.
So you're going into the weekend with a deficit, and let's start with the Bears and
Texans.
Bears and Texans.
Texans.
Going with Houston. And then you have the Monday night game, which is the Eagles.
And the Falcons. The Battle of the Birds.
The Falcons.
Eagles.
All right. There you go. Thanks, man.
So this is going to be, Jake, this is going to be your and I attempt at getting back that we picked to Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's too bad what happened to Tua, but I hope he stays out the rest of the season. He's a choker, and he always gets hurt.
I got a message from Mike earlier this morning. He said he's so prone to getting injured.
And the concussions
all the time.
When you have too many of them, they start to compile, and
Yeah.
the ones that weren't accounted for, and then there was the season he had one, and
Yeah.
they put him back in. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster.
All right, Jake, you're in though.
Hats off to the Bills.
Listen, right now they looked like a formidable opponent last night.
Yeah.
So, all right, good stuff. All right, thank you, Jake.
Have a good weekend, guys.
You do too. Beautiful. Do the same. Beautiful weather. Just going to be gorgeous. Willie Waffle on the line right now. Willie. Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Doing well. So we've been watching this series, and it's a streaming series, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. It's kind of it's New England, a wealthy family. There's going to be a wedding, then there's no wedding because
Perfect couple. Willie mentioned it last week.
Okay.
When you were off, and my fiance began watching it without me, so I didn't.
We're watching it. Yeah, that's pretty. It reminds me of the White Lotus a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. That's what it definitely wants you to think. I mean, it really kind of is. It's very familiar because this is becoming like almost an overdone genre now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a murder mystery, and it's going to be among the fancy rich people, and there's going to be all sorts of intrigue, and I think the thing that got me about The Perfect Couple is that there were times when I thought it was going to be more of a comedy. They have those characters who are just like completely mocking what's going on with this family and this murder, and I wanted to see more of that. It became more of a traditional murder mystery. But you gotta love Dakota Fanning, and isn't she hilarious?
Yeah,
she is the best.
I didn't even realize that was Dakota Fanning. Wow.
Well, she's grown up a lot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a little bit older now. And, here's your other little nugget of information. The bride is played by Eve Hewson. And if you don't recognize the name, you might recognize her father's name, Bono.
I saw that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Wow, that is Dakota Fanning now. Wow.
Yep.
This is
blonde.
It's kind of star-studded. And it's it's good, and I think we're like 3 or 4 episodes in right now. So, and boy, Dad likes to do everybody, doesn't he? He seems to be.
Oh my God!
He seems to be very able
active
and very active. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's one to check out. Again, it's called. A Perfect Couple.
The Perfect Couple.
And
is it A Perfect Couple? It's Perfect Couple with some sort of word before it.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so in theaters this weekend, and by the way, I didn't get, what did you think of Beetlejuice? I didn't get that last week.
I thought Beetlejuice was okay. I thought it was true to the original and kind of tried to recreate the original a little bit more.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little scattered with all the multiple different plots going on, almost like they couldn't focus in on one or develop one to be like a full movie. But it's entertaining, and I was at 2.5 waffles. I'm like, go see it, have a good time.
I'd like to go finally into a movie theater and watch a movie.
I'm just waiting for the right one.
And then you have the Joker coming up soon.
Ooh, that's going to be good.
And that's Max only. That'll be streaming only.
So the Joker is actually going to be part 2 in theaters October 4th. You're thinking of The Penguin.
Oh, you're right.
Which is going to be released next week. We're going to talk about it next week.
Okay.
It's going to be on Max. And I got to check. I thought I saw something where they were so impressed that they might flip it to HBO, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But it'll still be on Max every week. It'll still be on Max every week.
All right, interesting.
Is that going to be a series, if you're saying every week?
Like yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It's a whole series. It's Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and if you remember him from the last Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, you don't even recognize it's Colin Farrell underneath there.
Yeah.
And he is absolutely fantastic as the Penguin. I think this could be one of those rare spin-off series that might be really good. Really good.
All right, and that will be in theaters. No.
So the Penguin will be on Max
streaming
next week.
The Joker.
Streaming
the
next
Joker
week.
will be in theaters.
You Joker.
The Joker's on you. Okay, there we go. All right. Speak No Evil in theaters this weekend.
This looks good, Willie. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, it's a remake of a Danish film that came out a couple years ago that shocked people, and so of course we made an American version right away. And you've got essentially Mackenzie Davis and Scott McNairy as this American couple living overseas. They meet another couple with played by oh my God, I'm blanking on his name, and he's like the star of the movie, James McAvoy.
Yes,
and another woman. And they're vacationing in Tuscany, and they get along well. And McAvoy and his wife say, "Well, why don't you come see our country house in England, outside of London? Because I know you live in London." And they all decide to get together again, but all during the trip, something ain't right.
Things get weird.
They get bad, yes. And that's where kind of the horror comes in. That's where the thriller comes in. The idea that this American couple, like, they start to pick up on little red flags, and their sense of being courteous is stopping them from really just saying, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse until finally James McAvoy goes crazy. And that's what you came to see, because that's the character he plays. James McAvoy may be one of the most underrated actors out there right now. This is the guy that was in Split and did all those different personalities.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was real creepy in that.
Yeah, he was awesome there, and he brings that same creepiness here, that same threat level here, and I love the way that the movie and he kind of very slowly kind of reel you in as you start to see just a little bit of mannerisms changing in him, the looks in his eyes, the red flags that are coming up, and you're like, dude, I would have been out of there like half an hour ago. What is wrong with you?
That actually reminded me of the debate the other night. Just a little bit. Sorry. What do you give it?
I'm going to say three waffles for Speak No Evil.
All right, and that's in theaters, so you have a reason to go to a theater. And the Killer's Game, what do you think?
Oh God, this is such a bad movie.
Okay.
God, it's so bad. I mean, like, I think it may have been written by an 8th grader with raging hormones. I mean, this is so just ridiculous. Dave Bautista is an assassin, but don't worry, he's a good assassin. He only assassinates bad people, so that makes him a hero. I don't know how, but anyways, so he decides that, or he falls in love and meets a girl, and he also develops an illness, and it turns out he's told he only has 3 months to live, and he doesn't want his girlfriend to go through the pain of watching him suffer from this disease and fall apart, so he orders a hit on himself to take him out. But the plans change, and now he's got to fight for his life.
Dun dun dun.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt because we're running out of time. You don't like this one. What do you give it?
Half a waffle.
Okay, good.
It's ridiculous.
Screw it. Let's not even talk about it, because I want you to talk about the Peacock series Fight Night, and I want to get into Late Night, and we have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. Fight Night is a really great series. The first few episodes are out. You can catch up.
This is a true story, right? It's true.
Yeah, it's based on
a true story.
The 1970 comeback of Muhammad Ali, and you've got Kevin Hart playing this hustler in Atlanta who sees this as his opportunity to warm up to some of the crime bosses in the area, played by Samuel Jackson and Terrence Howard. But when he throws a big party after the fight, it's robbed, and they all blame him, and now he's got to find a way to defend himself and convince everybody he's not guilty. I'm at 3.5 waffles. It's just it's a cool 70s feel with all the music and all the clothes, and you know what? Kevin Hart is really good in this. Really good.
I got to go back and I got to watch that. And finally, late night TV, cutting back to just 4 nights a week with new programs.
Yeah, so the Colbert Show was already doing this. Jimmy Kimmel was already doing this. The Tonight Show has announced that now they will only be doing new episodes Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays will be a rerun. And this is just on the heels of all sorts of cost cutting that's going on with late night television. Late night television is fading before our eyes.
You know what? There's too much of it. There's just too much.
Well, I think that what they offer, people are finding in other places online.
Yeah.
It's
also a lot of them are very political, very anti-Trump.
I agree. I think I think the political angle is hurting them too. We'll have to talk about it sometime.
All right. Yeah, I want to get into that heavy next week. We got to you late this week, and I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Willie, please have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Thanks.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Yet another problem for Boeing. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A strike at the company already under scrutiny over airplane manufacturing.
Hey, we deserve more. We are doing the job that is required of us, and we need to be compensated fairly.
He's among the workers at Boeing that walked off their jobs after midnight near Seattle, Washington, and in Oregon.
This is the first strike at Boeing in 16 years, and it could throw a major wrench in the company's already fragile supply chain. Overnight, 33,000 Boeing employees agreeing to go on this strike after Boeing and the union had been in contract negotiations this past week.
Fox Business Network's Lauren Simonetti.
The workers rejected the company's new contract offer because it didn't include the 40% pay hike that they were asking for.
Boeing had offered a 25% pay raise. At a rally in Tucson, Arizona, former President Trump proposed,
as part of our additional tax cuts, we will end all taxes on overtime.
Now, the former president, who will rally today in another state considered a toss-up in Nevada, also said he'll not debate Vice President Harris again after their Tuesday showdown. She wants another debate. Harris will campaign today in Pennsylvania after 2 rallies in another toss-up state, North Carolina.
Donald Trump is not fit to be president of the United States and should never again occupy our nation's highest office.
President Biden's going to meet today with Britain's new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. They'll discuss the war in Ukraine amid a threat.
Russian President Vladimir Putin warning NATO is at risk of going to war with Russia. That's if Europe and the United States give the okay for Ukraine to attack Russian territory with long-range Western missiles. President Putin says Moscow would view that as direct participation that would change the very essence of the conflict.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
Well, former President Trump campaigns in 2 battleground states this week, Arizona and Nevada. He won a legal victory in Georgia. Another state considered a toss-up in the Fox News power rankings that give Vice President Harris a projected lead in the Electoral College.
Fulton County Judge Scott McAfee is dismissing 2 criminal counts against former President Trump and another charge against other defendants. The judge said the prosecution, led by Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis, did not have the proper authority to bring these particular charges. Those counts had to do with the filing of false documents. The remaining charges against 14 defendants, including the former president who faces 8 counts himself, still stand. He and the other defendants have pleaded not guilty to charges they schemed to overturn the result of the 2020 election. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Hurricane Francine's remnants raining down in Alabama and Tennessee where there are flooding worries. The storm did damage in Louisiana where there are still more than 100,000 power outages. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the morning after big gains. On Thursday Night Football, a bad game for the Dolphins and their quarterback.
Tua, pressured, look out, forced to throw it, and it's going to be picked off along the sideline. Ingram, untouched.
Tua Tagovailoa's third interception was returned for a touchdown in the Buffalo Bills' blowout win over Miami 31-10 on Amazon Prime Video. Then it got worse for Tagovailoa. He suffered a concussion again and had to leave the game in the third quarter. The Dolphins QB missed a lot of time in 2022 because of concussions. In college football, an even bigger blowout. South Alabama beat Northwestern State 87-10. The most points a team in the FBS college division has scored in a game, 87, since 1991, though the all-time record dates back to 1916. Georgia Tech scored 222. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We have mostly clear skies and 55 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The New York State Police have officially wrapped up their investigation into reported gunfire at the state fairgrounds in Syracuse. Troopers say there's still no evidence that anyone opened fire at the fair on the night of September 1st. The fairgrounds property was evacuated as a precaution, and interviews with witnesses, and a review of video led to law enforcement reaching their conclusion. It's unclear exactly what people heard. 2 members of the Syracuse Police Department are recovering after being injured in a crash. According to authorities, the officers were in a patrol vehicle when the collision with a car happened near the intersection of North McBride Street and Erie Boulevard yesterday. The officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries, while the driver of the car did not need medical treatment. The cause of the accident is still being looked into. Post Malone is returning home to Syracuse this weekend, and that means heavy traffic near the Empower Federal Credit Union Amphitheater at Lakeview. The singer will take the stage at the venue tomorrow as part of his current F1 Trillion tour, and his opening act will be Alabama duo Muscadine Bloodline. Post Malone is a Grammy nominee who's best known for hits like Better Now, Sunflower, and White Iverson. Seats for the concert are sold out. New Hartford was practically shut down on Thursday evening with power lines down, roads closed, and power outages following a structure fire at the New Hartford Shopping Center. According to witnesses, the scene seemed to be under control by 7 p.m. It's unknown at this time what caused the smoke or fire, what caused the power outages, and how much
Well, the
damage
outages
was
came after
caused.
an accident on the arterial, which power lines came down, and then the lines overheated, which caused the fire to occur in an exhaust fan at the Family Fun.
I see the update
Center.
to your story
Yes.
at the bottom of the post.
Yes.
So WIBX950.com is where you can find more details on that. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:07. Your weather forecast is brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. For today, we can expect sunny skies yet again with temperatures in the mid-80s. Overnight, we'll see clear skies with a low around 59, maybe some fog. Then patchy fog tomorrow morning, otherwise sunny skies with a high in the mid-80s. Right now, we're at 55 degrees under clear skies at 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Buffalo Bills are now 2-0 to start the season after picking up a dominant victory on the road. Buffalo running back James Cook had 3 touchdowns in the first half as his team rolled to a 31-10 win over the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium last night. Bills quarterback Josh Allen finished the night with 139 yards and a touchdown toss for the defending AFC East champions. Buffalo's next game is against the Jacksonville Jaguars on September 23rd. Meanwhile, Week 1 will continue with a few marquee matchups on Sunday. The Cowboys will play host to the Saints. The Bucs pay a visit to the Red Hot Lions, and the reigning champion Chiefs entertain the Bengals. C.J. Stroud and the Texans host Caleb Williams and the Bears on Sunday Night Football. The week wraps up with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles playing host to Kirk Cousins and the Falcons on Monday. The Giants could be without their number 1 draft pick this weekend, as if their Week 1 wasn't disastrous enough. Rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors was listed as a limited participant in Thursday's practice with a knee injury. Neighbors recorded 5 catches for 66 yards in the G-Men's season-opening loss to the Minnesota Vikings. The Yankees walked off with a 2-1 win over the Red Sox in 10 innings at Yankee Stadium. Juan Soto drove in the game-winning run with an RBI double in the bottom of the 10th. Clay Holmes was credited with not only the save but the victory after pitching 2/3 of a scoreless inning of relief. Gleyber Torres went deep with a solo shot in the bottom of the first. New York is now leading the AL East at 85-62. They'll continue their 4-game series tonight in the Bronx against the Red Sox, and with Baltimore off yesterday, I believe they're at least 1.5. I know they're at least 1.5 games back, possibly 2. We got to hope that we keep winning and they keep losing. The Mets continue their road trip tonight. New York is opening a 3-game series against the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. Jose Quintana is expected to make his 29th start of the season. The left-hander enters 8-9 with a 4.09 ERA and 118 strikeouts over 152 innings. The Mets are in the 3rd NL wildcard spot at 80-66. And finally, I want to mention that Sale Barbero, our man who is the umpire extraordinaire, he wanted me to announce that the baseball community is asking for prayers for one of their own MVBOA members who is in the hospital and is going through it right now. And so he just needs a little bit of extra prayers and thoughts. And so Sale wants everybody to think about the MVBOA organization and their brethren and this individual who is in the hospital. So that is from Sale Barbero.
We're going to give somebody a chance to win $300 today. Hobica's free money question of the day, which comes up in about a half an hour. We'll get to that. Also a chance to win a pair of tickets to 1964, the Beatles tribute, which is coming up next week, September 19th, at the Stanley Theater. We have tickets to give away there as well. And I did want to talk just a little bit, if I could, just for a second, about the Mets. So if you're trying to be a realist in this whole thing, it is a major feat, not only for the Mets they're playing 7 out of their next 10 games is with the Philadelphia Phillies, or will be with the Phillies. So the Phillies are in first place in the National League East, and the problem you have is you can't go in and split a series with them.
No.
Even if you win 2 out of 3, you still have 7 games to make up. And, oh, by the way, the Braves are sitting right behind you, 1 game behind you, and they are playing very well also. So really what the Mets need is to go on a tear where they win another 10 games in a row. And that's going to be very difficult to do.
It will be.
This not only could mean that the Mets don't take the division. Obviously, that would be a major accomplishment.
Indeed,
with 16,
not impossible.
With 16 games left, But there's a chance that the Mets won't even make the playoffs because of the schedule going forward. They got to get on a run. Otherwise, they'll gain no ground. And if the Atlanta Braves continue to play well, they will gain ground on the Mets, and the Mets will move out of that wild card spot. So, got to win.
Must win situation starting tonight for the Mets. Got a break. We have a lot to get to later in this hour. After the free money question, this guy's actually a friend of yours who was honored at the Yankees game the other night. He's a member of the United County Sheriff's Department, and this is a really cool story, and we're going to hear from him coming up. Scott in Kirkville will make some picks for the weekend, and we'll get the rest of our picks in, and then he'll make a free money question of the day. A chance for you to win $300 coming up at WIBX.
It's the Tackle a Deal sales event at Destination Kia of Utica.
And we have a deal on an all-wheel drive SUV you need to hear.
Lease a brand new 2025 Kia Seltos LX all-wheel drive for just $368 a month for 36 months.
And that's with 0 down, 0 due at inception, even sales tax included.
Incredible, but true. No money down and $368 per month for an all-wheel drive SUV.
Now that's kooky.
Make that short drive and choose from 400 new Kias in one location.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2025 Kia Seltos LX all-wheel drive. VIN number S7704889. MSRP $26,550. 36-month, 30,000-mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due at inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 9/30/2024.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Contractors and landscapers, rent your way to greater profits with Bobcat equipment from Warner Sales and Service. From heavy work right down to the fussy stuff, Bobcat loaders, excavators, and a wide variety of attachments will handle all the tough jobs like lifting, digging, pushing, carrying, as well as the more precise applications, grading and leveling. Tough jobs demand tough equipment. So when you have a tough job, rent a Bobcat machine. Stop by your CMY authorized Bobcat dealer, Warner Sales and Service, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona. On the web at warnerss.com.
Hey, Frank, looks like business is booming. What are all those tabs you have open on your computer?
Oh, hey. Well, this one is for my SEO company. This one is for my website company. This one is for my CRM. This is for invoicing and estimates. This one does email. And this one does billing.
Jeez, that sounds tricky to manage.
It's clunky, but I need all this to run my business. Wait, you run your own business, and you're even busier than I am. Don't you have all this stuff, too?
I do, but I get it all on one screen with the Town Square Business Management Platform.
What's that?
The Town Square Business Management Platform is an all-in-one tool that helps me grow and run my business. It combines website, billing, and scheduling into one program.
That sounds simpler than juggling all the tools I have now, but you still need someone else to help you find new business, right?
Nope. They have powerful digital advertising built into the platform as well, which helps me keep my calendar full. You can get a demo of the product for free. Check out their website. See if it makes sense for your business.
Go to townsquarelocal.com for a free demo of the Town Square Business Management Platform. Visit townsquarelocal.com. That's townsquarelocal.com.
Are you looking to make a difference? Holland Patton Central School District is now hiring bus drivers. Make a difference in students' lives while engaging in a great career. Full and part-time positions are possible. Applicants must be 21 years of age or older with a Class B CDL license. On-site training is available for those who do not currently hold a license. Benefits include New York State retirement and paid time off. Apply today at oneida-portal.mycivilservice.com/post/other OPP or call 315-865-4103 for more information.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Have you tried the green matcha latte? The matcha green tea latte is what I'm trying to say. So good. The donuts and bagels baked fresh every single day. And even they now have avocado toast. And the drive-thru lightning fast. You're in and out, and you're on your way. It is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. On the line right now, Mayor Galimi back with us this morning, talking about Harbor Point. Very interesting. And
he
the
had
mayor,
something to add. Awesome.
The mayor with a bit of an update here this morning. Mayor Galimi, good morning.
Well, hello, Bill and Andrew.
And Megan.
And Megan.
Yeah, good morning. What's going on there, Mayor?
Well, first of all, how about those Bills last night?
Yeah, they looked very good.
Man, I'm just looking at images from the aftermath because I didn't see the concussion live. Wow.
Yeah. And you know who ran into him? Which Bills player ran into him?
Oh, DeMar Hamlin. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, it wasn't intentional, but yeah. So, Stephen, you've been all over the place. Everywhere I turn, you're there. You're everywhere.
I like to get around and support people.
Yeah.
And also this weekend, I'm going with family down to Washington, D.C. We're going to a Washington Nationals game.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Boy, if you only could have waited, the Mets will be playing the Nationals soon. So, but that'll be good.
They're playing the Miami Marlins.
Nice. Okay. All right. What do you think the Mets' chances are? I mean, this is going to be a long haul this next 2 weeks.
Well, Sunday when I'm at the game, I'll be scoreboard watching, seeing how the Mets and Phillies are doing.
And keep an eye on the Braves as well, yeah.
And the Braves.
Now, you were recently at I don't know if you know this, Andrew, but you were a camp counselor.
Briefly, one year. Camp Gorham in Eagle Bay.
Camp Gorham. Is that where you were, Stephen?
No, I was at Camp Nazareth up in Woodgate, and I was a camper.
He was a counselor there.
And I was a counselor there as well.
And then they had a reunion of counselors, and you were there for that.
Yes, this last weekend I was there for a little alumni reunion picnic.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
How lovely.
All right, Stephen, have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
All right, enjoy the trip, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much. I got to tell you something. It is going to be a beautiful weekend, and really just beautiful sunny skies with mid-80s all the way through into the middle of next week, where we might see a little bit of rain. But then even then, when we get out of the 80s, it's still going to be in the upper 70s with plenty of sunshine. This forecast looks really...
I love it, especially going into fall.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Richard is back at it. You people are horrible. All right, thanks, man.
Oh, awesome. I don't know what warranted that comment, but so are you.
We talked to Evan Brown last hour. Space history happened yesterday when crew members of the Polaris Dawn mission suited up in specially designed SpaceX gear and did a spacewalk outside the capsule. The actual, if you saw their outfits, they were very mobile. And the glove that the billionaire was wearing is the same glove that Josh Allen was wearing, I think, last night.
But you got to protect yourself in space.
Seemed mobile, but not that mobile. We're talking about Jared Isaacman, excited to the cheers of the ground crew. And I believe I have some audio to play for you coming up here. Yes? No? No.
Why isn't it playing, damn it?
On SpaceX, the Sarah Gillis also exited the SpaceX Dragon capsule. The other two crew members remained inside, but the hatch was open, so they were exposed to space conditions. And they were, this version of space, it is space, but, we're about 435 miles from Earth.
Wow.
That is the...
I didn't really think about that.
That is the space we're talking about. So it is
There are multiple spaces.
Well, what I'm saying is it's not like you're at the moon. You're kind of hovering outside the atmosphere.
Like
and
where
you're
it's
in.
kind of like
Yeah.
dark and light combined.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I think I can play the audio now. I was stalling for that. Here is the audio.
Hatch is open on Dragon. First view from a helmet cam.
This is Jared now egressing through the forward hatch of Dragon Resilience. These are the first views of the first ever commercial spacewalk.
Back at home, we all have a lot of work to do, but from here, Earth sure looks like a perfect world.
Back at home, we have a lot of work to do. Boy, do we.
Yeah.
He said from that view, it looked like a perfect world.
Yeah,
oh,
stay up
boy.
there.
Yeah, don't come
Whatever
back.
you do.
58-year-old woman in Canada has everybody up in arms. She was arrested and charged with assault. You know what she did to her neighbor?
Oh, God, what?
She accidentally sprayed her neighbor with a water gun. The neighbor had her arrested for assault. The guy has a reputation for being a bit of a jerk in the neighborhood, but the police did not cut her any slack. Here is Wendy Washnick telling her side of the story after she was arrested.
Because I love kids and work with kids, I asked him if he had any water guns, and he said, yeah. I was trying to figure out how the water gun was working, and it accidentally hit the neighbor that was like maybe 3 feet away cutting his grass. They had told my husband to bring your wife out of the backyard, that I'm being charged with assault with a weapon. They didn't ask me one single question. They didn't interview one single person. I've cried myself to sleep many nights.
Well, don't cry too much. You listen, you got arrested. What? So, and it was a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I once cried myself to sleep over a posted sign that was on put up on the edge of my property, and
eventually led to an arrest.
And my wife just said, "Stop! Don't cry and get away from that water gun." All right, okay.
Don't touch it.
All right, don't touch it.
Put down the hose. Now, was this a super soaker or was it just
I believe it was one of those that soaks superlatively, or whatever.
Some of those things are powerful.
Yeah. And a man in, I don't think I'll go with that story. Let's see. I have Eli. Is it Eli on the line with a political scoop? You want to hear a political scoop?
I can't wait.
Here we go. Eli, good morning.
So I was kind of shocked yesterday at some of the responses concerning.
This isn't Eli. This is Lou.
Yes, it is. This is
Oh, is that your real name? We call you Lou. I don't think I can handle.
That's my name. So I've called sports radio for years.
Yes.
When I come on and tell these guys my name is Eli in the past, there was no Eli Manning. Nobody understood the name. So I would waste minutes or days with the hosts.
So let me ask you this, Lou. I want to learn something here and then I'll let you give the political.
Okay.
But are you related to John Zogby?
Yes, I am.
In what relationship are you to John?
Well, we're cousins.
You're cousins. Okay.
I thought they were
brothers. Somebody told us you were John's brother, and then and of course John has a famous brother as well. But I thought
Eli
maybe
Manning.
he had. That's right.
We're close cousins. We both attended St. Agnes School together for 9 years, and John went his way to Notre Dame. I went to Proctor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So this is Liberal Lou, and here we go. All right. What?
So I was surprised yesterday, Andrew, to hear Andrew say that he enjoyed my calls. I didn't catch that from you, Andrew. I would have thought just the opposite.
Well, listen, Lou, just because sometimes, most of the time we disagree on certain things, I
think you always disagree with him.
I'm trying to be nice.
Although you might agree with his opinion on who won the debate.
Right? Yes.
You probably would agree with that.
But my point is, Lou, I always enjoy your calling. I think you're a good person. I'm not going to hold it against you that you have the views that you have, so that's fine.
Well, ditto the same goes very back to you, Andrew.
Well,
I mean,
thank you.
It's obvious you're a great guy, which makes me completely mind-boggled that you were.
Yeah, he believes the way he believes. Can you believe it? Which, by the way, Lou, if I could just tell you before you get going. The only reason Andrew settled this between the two of you is because he wants to be your real estate agent when you sell your house.
I got to protect the business. Yeah.
You know, it's all, he's realizing today business over personal.
Liberals buy houses too. I'm doing the Michael
correct.
Jordan thing here.
That's right. All right.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but my wife is ecstatic with the place we're at. So
okay, you're going nowhere. All right. So what is your
anyway,
scoop?
yeah. So Andrew's reasoning apparently is this, from what I got yesterday, is the great success of the Trump economy. I mean, really, if you want to analyze the Trump economy, it was really no more. His first 3 years, we'll give him a break on the COVID, even though he mismanaged COVID. We'll give him a break on his fourth year, but his first 3 years were nothing more than a continuation of Obama's last 3 years. If you look at all the vital statistics, GDP, unemployment, every analysis, it shows right down the line that he did really nothing. I think anybody who stepped into that position, any role, Hillary, any other Republican, would have continued with that economy, that successful economy.
So if I could, and one of the things though that Trump really did was he deregulated everything. He took away a lot of. Well, he did. He really. But at the same time, one of the things I do have to say, and people get all up in arms because I could be saying this about Bill Clinton, who had one of the most successful economies when he was president. Presidents get lucky when the economy is good. Even Biden, I realize that we're looking at inflated prices on things, but the economy right now has survived so much better than the rest of the world. And oh, by the way, the stock market, albeit a little bit up and down, for the most part, the stock market has reached new heights under this president, which, in my opinion, has nothing to do with Biden. And the other thing that has nothing to do with the president is gas prices. Almost never. In fact, we are now producing more oil and gasoline for the world than ever before in the history of the country. But again, presidents like to take advantage of that and take credit for a good economy and blame a bad economy on their predecessor. Right. So what I'm saying is, presidents can do very little especially when it comes to gas prices, very little, because if anybody would have been able to do something about gas prices, it would have been George Bush. He's from Texas. If anybody could have done it, he would have, and he couldn't. So that's just my little take on that.
Totally, but when it comes to the economy,
but that goes both ways. Democrats shouldn't be able to take credit either on every element of the economy.
Well, yeah, but you have to look at actually what they did, what their policies were, and see how they affected the economy. So Trump's policy, Trump printed money like it was going out of style. He was a big spender. When he took over the national debt at $12 trillion.
So can we talk about that spending for a second? Because one of the proposals,
both he and Biden spent a lot of money. Especially, they both were credited with giving up the free money. There was a lot of free money out there. People remember getting those checks. That was under Trump and Biden.
The first
those two things do spur the economy. I mean, you want to, your government has a place in spending money to spur the economy, but when Trump took over, the economy was humming along. He promised with his tax cut that we were going to get out of the 2.5% GDP and ramp up growth to 3, 4, 5%. He and Mitch McConnell both. They promised that their tax cut, which was aimed at major corporations and wealthy people, would boost the GDP. It never happened. We knew this wasn't going to happen because George Bush made the same promises, so did Ronald Reagan, and it never happened under them. It just was a lie because basically what it's about is paying back donors.
So let's talk about financial and economic policies here, and Kamala Harris's promise to give $25,000 to every new homeowner, which effectively would only, I think, and what do I know, increase inflation and make it worse, as opposed to doing things to bring the interest rates down, which if you bring the rates from 6.2 2 to 2 again, which they never will be, but to 3 or 4, that's going to save people a hell of a lot more money than just throwing $25,000. You want to talk about printing money?
Well, I never heard her say she was going to give $25,000. I don't know.
She said it at the debate.
I mean,
there's a policy she's going to give $25,000 to every new homeowner.
Who says who? Somebody on Fox News?
She said that.
Every new homeowner. You said every family in the country.
I said new homeowners. New homeowners.
Well, first of all, the housing crisis is a major issue.
If I heard it correctly, I thought it was a tax break, not a check.
There's a $6,000 child tax credit, which is $6,000 for everybody that has a child, and then $25,000 for every new homeowner.
So
to
what
put
is
towards their house, whether it be closing costs or whatever.
Their tax credits, right? So, but you know, a major problem in this country, believe it or not, Andrew, is poverty rates, child poverty. We have the highest rates in the Western world. I don't know if you knew that. The top 40 democratic economies.
I keep trying to fact check you, but you go to another topic every time I get to somewhere. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying the top 40. I don't know if Andrew, if you know this, but the top 40 economies in the world, we are at the bottom. We are down with Turkey and Chile when it comes to child poverty. You look at what the Democrats want essentially with Bernie Sanders and AOC and all these hated Democrats. The left Democrats want, they want policies that are working right now in Europe that have driven down things like child poverty to infinitesimal levels, that have driven down crime rates, that have prisons with 10% of the prison populations that we have in our country. Those are the policies. They're not crazy socialistic communist policies as the people.
So for the record, the child poverty rate in the United States exceeds 20%. We are with Poland, Turkey, and Mexico. Child poverty rates are below 5% in Denmark, Finland, Sweden, and Norway, below 8% in France and Austria.
I appreciate the fact check, and please fact check everything that I say.
Yes, call me David. Call me David from now on. And I'm supposedly really good looking.
Okay. But anyway, it's an abysmal record, is it not, for the wealthiest? We are the wealthiest nation in the country. We have a national resources. We have a huge nation with a booming economy, and we suffer from the highest child poverty rates. So this is what Democrats want to drive down.
If I only had,
by giving $6,000 one time and saying hopefully that'll work.
If I only had, I will say that the economy's. What is being done?
Let me answer that, Andrew. So the one time,
I'll tell you what I was going to say later.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, Bill just wrapped some of, of course, Trump spent $3 trillion to help with the COVID economic crisis. Biden spent $2 trillion to help with that crisis. And Bill just alluded to Biden spending money. A lot of that money was directed right towards eliminating child poverty, and they cut it in half for only a 1.5-year period. They cut it in half by the policies, those COVID economic policies. So you can do things that immediately will cut child poverty.
But that's the thing is, it's only an immediate fix, and that's the problem. You're going to throw money at a problem, and it doesn't ever get fixed. It's like putting a Band-Aid on an open, a huge gash of a wound. It's just not. I mean, you put $6,000, gives everybody $6,000 this year. Well, what are they going to do next year?
If I could, I'm reaching the point of I can't take this anymore. Lou, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
I just want to wrap it up with this myth that Trump had a great economy. It's false. Bill, if you research the deregulations, they did more harm than good.
I'm just saying that played a role in making it easier for companies to do business.
Yeah, to stay in America.
Yeah, and increase profits for companies, and on the other hand, harm consumers and labor. So you're looking. So the Republican analysis are always going to be based by company paid analysts who are looking to knock down the bottom line of that company, but they're not looking at why was the regulation initially accomplished. So as I was just going to say, Trump deregulated banks, and that led to making a little more profit for banks in different areas. It also directly led to the collapse of two major California banks. The regulation. You have to look at every regulation.
All right.
Massive
3, 2,
regulation
and 1.
was in the EPA.
All right, Lou, we appreciate it, and I thank you. And
little research on EPA and
I
how
will.
Trump.
I'd love to ask him a few more questions about this, but we'll have to move on.
You're no economist, and nor is he, and nor am I.
What I'm asking is-
however, what I will leave you with is there are certainly some great things that about the economies in Europe. If you go to sit down at a restaurant, the waiter that comes to your table, you barely tip a waiter in Europe because they make a living wage. They make a decent amount of money. They don't use the tip system like we do in this country. But child poverty rates are lower. However, our economy is humming far better than almost any economy in the world today.
Absolutely. I could tell you a little side story. When my wife and I were in Paris, we would give small tips. We were told not to tip.
They tell you not to tip. Maybe $1 after dinner.
Well, we would give maybe 5%.
Yeah.
The waiters treated us like we were gods. You cannot believe when we would return to that restaurant. The next week, the waiters would remember us and greet us with incredible smiles.
I told my wife if you tip them, they'll be offended. And so she didn't tip them, and they were offended. It was a funny little moment. Okay, Lou, thank you.
We're
You're
lower
still
than
going.
they are in Utica. They're unbelievably low prices. We felt like we had to give these guys.
I will tell you that I completely agree with you. You can go. You think you're at a French restaurant, and all of a sudden you come out, and you've spent like €45 for 3 people. That's unbelievable. Under $100 for 3 people. I feel like we pay more for our meals here in Utica. You're absolutely right. Anyway,
it's even lower than Paris.
Okay, Lou. Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
And just for the record,
do you still like Lou?
I love everyone.
It's
always an entertaining discussion. Listen, I do. But can I just say,
you're going to
for
say
the
more.
record,
Yeah.
This is from the very fair and impartial ABC News. Harris to propose up to $25,000.
They fact check themselves.
They do. Yeah. Harris to propose up to $25,000 in down payment support for first-time homebuyers. This is August 15th, 2024, when Vice President Kamala Harris unveils her economic policy proposals in Raleigh, North Carolina Friday. It will include a proposal to provide up to $25,000 in down payment support for first-time homebuyers.
It is very much like the kid running for junior high president.
Yeah.
Who says, we're going to put in a candy vending machine. And by the way,
pizza every Friday.
It's going to be free.
Yeah.
Let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. Listen, I challenge you to book an economist who is independent, who can run down this whole, really compare the two the economic plans, what we kind of know about them. I would rather listen to an expert than the two of you. Okay.
I'm just curious why so many billionaires are supporting Harris.
Hobica's free money question of the day. And what caller are you looking for, Megan? It's $300 on the line this morning.
There I am. Hello.
Don't do anything yet. I swear to God, we're having more problems this morning.
Yes. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
That apparently, hopefully, will fix the app. Whatever. You can turn your mic on in there. Every time I go to turn your mic on, I'm triggering a spot break. What caller number do you want? What do you want?
Let's do caller number 10.
All right. It's worth $300 from the Hobica Law Firm. Am I okay to take a break?
Yes.
Okay. It's worth $300 from the Hobica Law Firm. Great question. I felt like yesterday's question and the day before we were going to give away money and we didn't. Let's see if we do today. 10th caller right now at 315-736-0186.
What's your design inspiration? A picture on the wall? A photo from a magazine? A board you've made on Pinterest? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. It's amazing what some of our customers bring to us for inspiration. And we love working side by side with them to help turn their flooring dream into a reality. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the job, helping you to discover your perfect flooring. And there really is so much to discover. Consider the latest flooring trends as you plan your next home project. Many of our customers are surprised by the incredible new choices we have available. For example, today's snap-together waterproof luxury vinyl is incredibly popular. It's durable and it's stunning, with so many styles that replicate hardwood and beautiful stone looks. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Mealan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
Hey everyone, Lisa here from Fit Body Bootcamp in Whitesboro and Clinton. Are you ready to fall back into that fitness routine? As the seasons transform, why not transform your fitness goals too? Here at Fit Body Bootcamp, we can help you create those healthy habits, and yes, our coaches are ready to help you lose the weight for the very last time. What are you waiting for? Join us today for free, because we are the best of the best fitness center for 3 years in a row. Call us or find us on Facebook to start your journey.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Don Hartman and staff would like to invite you to save 30% on timeless treasures at the Potting Shed Antiques. For the entire month of September, enjoy 30% off the entire store, excluding gold jewelry and coins. Find unique items like furniture, lighting, stoneware, china, toys, glass, silver, costume jewelry, collectibles, and more. Visit us on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or online at thepottingshedantiques.com. Open Thursday through Saturday. Come find your next one-of-a-kind piece today at the Potting Shed Antiques.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM is celebrating its 99th birthday with talk show host and comedian Jimmy Fallon.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, and I am coming. This is not a drill, folks.
Jimmy Fallon, heard on WIBX and radio stations around the country weekdays and seen on his live TV show Saturday nights on Fox News Channel, is coming for one show only. Friday, December 6th at 8 p.m. at the Rome Capitol Theater. Tickets start at $47 and go on sale Thursday, September 19th at 10 a.m. at RomeCapital.com.
Hey, listen, is it possible to drive an award-winning Mazda with 0% APR financing? Just ask Ricky Z. He'll tell you it is at Steve Putney Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 SE model for only $285 a month on a 36-month lease. Or you can save with 0% APR financing on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See anybody over at Steve Putney Mazda, including Rick, and they'll give you the details at the dealership. As he says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Putney Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, one comment from Mike this morning. Only liberal Lou could make you, Bill, compliment President Trump.
I said the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, we're up to our free money question of the day. It's a chance for somebody to win this morning $300, and I think this is completely doable.
I'm glad we got Megan in there
and
because
it is a person who has resurfaced, if you will, a character that has resurfaced in recent days and that everybody seems to be talking about. Some good, some bad. You'll have understanding of this when I get to it. It comes from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika. Any legal needs, 315-724-1600, spelled Hobika, because there's another different spelling in town. 315-724-1600, the Hobica Law Firm. Rick is in South Utica, ready to take a shot.
Oh,
at
Rick, how's it
Hobica's
going?
Free money question of the day. Good morning, Rick.
Morning. I got to follow Liberal Lou, but go ahead.
You are following Liberal Lou. I honestly like him, and even Andrew does.
I do, yes.
Just,
you can't
he
dislike people just based on their
gets
political
me going.
beliefs. Come on.
Lou gets me going. All right, here's your question. You know you'll have 7 seconds to answer the question. Get it in before the buzzer, and you win $300. Are you ready?
You got to pull that clock up there,
sir.
Or the hotkeys. Volume.
Okay, I have it up.
There we go.
Okay, you good? All right, here we go. Here is your question. The TV character ALF, A-L-F, stands for what? Ready, go.
This is an easy one. Oh, Rick, I would have thought you would have got this, man.
Megan, you have the answer.
Isn't it alien life form?
ALF, alien life form.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Do I win the money?
No. Congratulations. You haven't won. I will give you, if you'd like to go see that Beatles 1964 tribute show next week at the Stanley Theater.
Absolutely.
I got tickets for that for you, and we'll give you a $25 food and fun card, the all-in-one food and fun card, which you could use. In fact, we just used one just last night at Taylor and the Cook. Their food is
very
that place
good
is
there.
beautiful.
Did that cover an appetizer bill or no?
Hey, listen, the cost of food outside apparently France is expensive.
Unlike in France, you gave a good tip, right?
Listen, my wife was like, "Oh, you don't give a tip at all, and no, you didn't even give a tip." Well, that did not go over as. But you really don't though, because those waiters are making really good. They're making a living wage. They're making good money. ALF stands for Alien Life Form. We'll also give you the food and fun card. And stand by. Megan is going to hook you up, and we'll mail that right to you, okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right, Rick, stand by, and she has you covered there. All right, why don't you do the introductions here, if you would, on our next guest here, Ed Constantine.
Yes, so Ed and I go way back to the days of West Utica Little League. He was a lot better player than I was, but it comes full circle because he made his start on the baseball diamond in West Utica off York Street in the West Utica Little League, and then him and I went to Utica schools together. He graduated from Proctor. I graduated from Notre Dame, but then Ed went into the United States Marine Corps, served 2 tours, one in Afghanistan, one in Kuwait. And it was a nice little surprise for me to see that the organization Veteran of the Game, which is an organization that works with major and minor league sports to honor veterans at their sporting events, selected Ed to be honored at Yankee Stadium on 9/11. And Ed is still
what
giving...
they do. They do this every game.
Right.
But what an honor, Ed, to be the one who was selected on 9/11.
Yes, and Ed is still serving his community in the form of being a member of the Oneida County Sheriff's Office.
Ed, good morning.
You have to...
Swear to God.
Oh,
I'm having one of those terrible days. Ed, good morning. Hope you enjoyed that introduction while I had you muted. So, so again, to be able to do this and have this honor on 9/11 had to be pretty incredibly impressive.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing.
So talk about the experience.
So it was better than you would think it was. You know, I figured it would be a lot of hustle and bustle, but they gave me 4 tickets, and they said just be there by the beginning of the 6th inning. So I got to enjoy the game with my family and friends, and at the 6th inning, they came and got me, brought me down behind home plate, which is where I was when Soto hit that 2-run home run.
Wow.
So I had a good bird's eye view of that one.
That is really awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then I got to hang out with the young lady who sang the national anthem from NYPD. She was amazing.
Yeah,
Walked us out to the field, gave us a quick walk through what we're going to do. We did the whole thing. They gave me a baseball, a Veteran of the Game coin, and a baseball hat, and then went back to my seat, got to enjoy the game again. So they made it really, really easy for me and for my family to be able to enjoy it and still be able to be honored and a way that you would think would be a nightmare.
Yeah, so they got you right. They got you right back with your family, and so you were able to enjoy the entire experience.
Right, logistically it was perfect.
I can only imagine that when you went back to your seat, the people around in your section had to be.
Yeah, you were like the star of the. You were a star of the stadium there.
Well, Andrew knows me pretty well, so he already knew that I was the star of the stadium.
Yes, yeah, sure,
without a doubt. Come on,
no, a lot of high fives and pats on the shoulder.
Well, what a game to see too. I mean, I was getting really frustrated, like more than I usually do with the Yankees this year, because I'm like, if they blow this game on Ed's night, I'm going to be very angry.
But listen, I don't know if you realize this, but every morning through the summer and here into September, Andrew goes on for about 3 minutes telling everybody why he hates the Yankees so much. And then the next day, if they win, he loves the Yankees.
Oh, my God. Come on.
It's hot, very, very hot, or very, very cold. Anyway, so you obviously, the service you gave to your country, you now continue to give that service to this community.
That's right.
With the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, you're an investigator there as well. So we just really appreciate your service to the country, to the community, and what a great honor to be able to. I mean, you are a Yankees fan, but we can let that go. But what an incredible honor! Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I gotta say, far beyond the coverage that we gave, because we wanted to get the word out ahead of the game. Some people miss it, and it's just always cool. You see, Utica, New York mentioned on the national stage as it was on Prime.
Yeah, and even that is cool.
And to see Ed representing Utica and the Marine Corps was really awesome. So thanks for all you do, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I enjoy everything I do.
All right, Ed. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a great day. You do the same. Great story. Ed Constantine with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, a former sergeant in the Marine Corps.
That's great.
Pretty cool. I have a few comments. I know you have a ton, too. Can we get a few of them in?
Yes, we can. We shall.
Mike says, you are correct about the economy. So what I say about the economy is, here's what goes on with economies. So when a president comes in, whether it's 4 years or 8 years, president, and Trump had 4 years and a disaster in COVID, and that which Biden had that start, they'll say that he left them in a terrible situation. The reality is we were dealing with a pandemic worldwide and problems throughout the world. Both presidents had to deal with that, and I don't think you can blame either one on what happened with the pandemic. You can go and say this one handled this better, this one handled that better. That's up to everybody else to do. But I'm just saying when it comes to the economy. So oftentimes changes are made, then they leave office. And sometimes these changes, it takes years for these changes to really have a strong, lasting effect. And oh, by the way, the next president comes in and changes and undoes what they may have already done. So oftentimes what happens is a president gets the luxury of having a really good economy, and they get to take advantage of it. And they do. They claim, this is what I gave you. The reality is it probably would have happened had their opponent won the election. And I'm not talking about Trump or Biden. I'm talking about all. And this is what Mike says. You're correct about the economy and presidents. George Bush, the father, ended up losing because at one point the economy was bad. It was actually coming out of a recession, which had all to do with what the policies that he put in place, but it was too late for him. Clinton, as a result, caught a very good economy and was able to, especially in the beginning, and was able to take credit for that. Mm-hmm. So the other part of this is gas prices. We can sit and blame gas prices on presidents. There's no way a president's going to be able to control gas prices. And if they could, you'd see gas prices come way down just before every election. And you certainly would have seen it with the Bushes. And we didn't see that.
John in Deerfield, gas was $2.83 at BJ's in Syracuse yesterday, $3.14 cash price at Adirondack in Frankfurt on Tuesday. Huge differences in a relatively small distance.
I believe that's Trump's fault. No, sorry. I don't understand that. I mean, you go to Syracuse and you're looking at prices that are 50 cents less. Richard's been complaining about it, but Ed Welch has talked. But that's a lot. 50 cents is a lot.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
This is Lance and Lee, sounding more like the Maddow Show daily.
Lance and Lee, that's what you sound like. You're absolutely right. In fact, I think that's what you probably look like. Rachel Maddow. The two of you probably have the same look.
Jeez, losing listeners.
Because you sound a lot. You sound a lot like her. Yeah. The only listener we're going to be okay with losing is you.
Oh, wow.
Lance. See ya.
Oh, man.
I got a break. We have news coming up top of the hour. Next hour, Scott in Kirkville takes some picks for the weekend. We'll get to that. Also, this is pretty cool. Talk about Robert Davey. He's an award-winning actor who is in the movie Reagan. And it is doing quite well at the box office. We'll have a chance to talk to him, and we'll fill you in on which character he plays and all of that coming up in just a second. Stand by. Lance, you're fine. Stand by at WIBX.
It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. Lease a 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition, 3 years, 10,000 miles per year, $499 a month. Or purchase with over $8,000 in savings. Need a heavy-duty truck? We've got a great selection in 3/4 and 1-ton trucks to choose from, with more arriving daily. Financing available 5.9% up to 84 months. Visit us on Route 28 in Herkimer or at StevePawneeChevy.com. Hurry, these offers end September 30th, 2024. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet.
Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offers are available on select models only. Lease offers require a current Chevy lease through GM Financial, and finance offers require a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and the first payment are due on delivery. See salesperson for details.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
More turbulence for Boeing. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This time, the problem's on the ground.
Our members rejected the contract by 94.6%.
That's Union President John Holden.
They voted to strike by 96%.
And then after midnight near Seattle, Washington, they walked off the job along with other Boeing employees in Oregon, which will shut down some airplane production. The 33,000 machinists rejecting a 25% pay raise offer, demanding 40% instead.
The last time Boeing saw a strike was back in 2008. That strike lasted 57 days. Now, no timetable as to how long this strike could last, but it is estimated it will cost Boeing $100 million a day.
That's Dave Detling with Fox TV in Seattle. President Biden will meet with Britain's prime minister today, and as Fox's Jill Nato reports, a big topic will be continuing to help Ukraine battle Russia.
The New York Times reports European officials say the president appears to be ready to clear the way for Ukraine to strike far into Russian territory with Western weapons. Britain's already signaled it wants to let Ukraine use its Storm Shadow missiles, but wanted permission from the president.
Russia's leaders warning against that. Vladimir Putin says if the U.S. and Europe let Ukraine do that, it'll put NATO at risk of war with Russia. Former President Trump says he's done with debates and won't face off again with Vice President Harris, saying at a rally in Tucson, Arizona.
People said that I was angry at the debate. I was angry. And yes, I am angry because he allowed 21 million illegal aliens invading our communities.
Today he'll rally in Nevada. Harris wants a second debate with Trump, calling him unfit for a second term.
Same old tired playbook we've heard for years, with no plan for how he would address the needs of the American people.
She held 2 rallies in North Carolina. Today the vice president will campaign in Pennsylvania. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of consumer cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
Should the descendants of slaves get reparations, maybe even compensation? New York City joins New York State and other places from California to Illinois considering that.
One of the bill's co-sponsors, Councilwoman Crystal Hudson, telling Fox News Digital it represents a significant step for New York City and that the harm slavery caused Black Americans continues to be felt today. The legislation establishes a truth, healing, and reconciliation process on slavery and a task force. Minority Leader Joseph Borelli voting against the measures, telling the New York Post, "I'll move before I pay." Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
In Florida, a victory challenging book bans.
Nassau County School Board officials settling the federal lawsuit with a group of students, parents, and the authors of And Tango Makes Three, agreeing the children's book about 2 male penguins that raise a chick together is not obscene and is appropriate for students of all ages. Plaintiffs had sued, alleging the district's decision to remove 36 titles with LGBTQ plus content was unlawful. Under the settlement, the district must restore access to those titles at libraries. Republicans in the state have passed laws opening the door for book challenges. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could rise, Dow and Nasdaq futures moving higher before today's trading. On Thursday Night Football, a big win for the Bills, a potentially bigger loss for the Dolphins.
4th and 4. Pressure. Tua steps up. He's going to run for the first down and takes a shot at the 6-yard line. Hamlin hit him and Tua down.
And Miami quarterback Tua Tagovailoa was woozy when he got up, knocked out of the game on Amazon Prime Video in the third quarter with concussion. He already has a history of concussions that's forced him to miss games. Before leaving, Tagovailoa threw 3 interceptions. One was returned for a touchdown, and Buffalo blew out Miami 31-10 to kick off Week 2 of the NFL season. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. Much of the village of New Hartford was shut down Thursday evening with power lines down across the arterial, roads closed, and power outages resulting in a fire at the New Hartford Shopping Center. Authorities say downed power lines across the arterial following an accident caused the lines to overheat. An exhaust fan at the Family Fun Factory. The fan sent smoke through the facility and patrons were evacuated. No one was injured. Power was restored in New Hartford by National Grid at about 7:30 p.m.
It was a mess. So you figure they have the arterial from the exit to Route 8. Yeah. Utica Police was there, and then you had New Hartford Police over at the intersection near the Onondagas. So there was no traffic through there because there were lines going across the road, which overheated lines in the New Hartford Shopping Center, which is why there was that fire. It was a mess. Power was out through most of the village, about 4,000 people without power.
Never good when there's a power outage. A Coldbrook man and his dogs are lucky to be alive after their car struck a deer, crashed, and erupted into flames. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says 39-year-old Harry Snow was driving on State Route 8 in Deerfield around 2 a.m. Thursday when his Tacoma hit a deer. He lost control of his vehicle, which drove through a ditch and struck a road sign. The vehicle caught fire, but Snow and his dogs were fortunate to escape mostly unharmed. Snow was taken to Wynn Hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Deer are about to enter their mating season, so motorists should increase caution on the roadways. New York State Police have officially wrapped up their investigation into reported gunfire at the state fairgrounds in Syracuse. Troopers say there's still no evidence anyone opened fire at the fair on the night of September 1st. The fairgrounds property was evacuated as a precaution, and interviews with witnesses and a review of video led to law enforcement reaching their conclusion. It's unclear exactly what people heard. And just over a quarter of American homeowners say they're not prepared financially in the case of extreme weather events. That's according to a Bankrate survey. Midwesterners tended to be most prepared for a natural disaster, with less than 20% saying they're unprepared. The most likely to say they're unprepared are in the South at nearly 30%. Meanwhile, 15% said they would need to go into debt to afford the deductible under their homeowner insurance policy if their home was impacted. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center for today. Beautiful weather, full sunshine, high 82 degrees. Tonight, clear skies, low 56 degrees. And tomorrow, 83 degrees with sunshine. Same thing for Sunday. And the same weather continues right into midweek next week. Just beautiful weather. That's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now we're at 57 degrees under sunny skies at 8:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. Week 2 of the NFL season kicked off with the Buffalo Bills putting together a dominant performance in a 31-10 takedown of the Miami Dolphins from Hard Rock Stadium. James Cook scored 3 TDs, and the Buffalo defense had 3 interceptions as the Bills moved to 2-0. Miami quarterback Tua Tagovailoa exited the game in the second half with a concussion as the Finns slipped to 1-1. The action continues Sunday with a few marquee matchups. The Cowboys will play host to the Saints. The Bucs pay a visit to the Detroit Lions, and the reigning champion Chiefs entertain the Bengals. C.J. Stroud and the Texans host Caleb Williams and the Bears on Sunday Night Football, and the week wraps up with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles playing host to Kirk Cousins and the Falcons on Monday night. The Giants could be without their number 1 draft pick this weekend. Rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors was listed as a limited participant in Thursday's practice with a knee injury. Neighbors recorded 5 catches for 66 yards in the G-Men's season-opening loss to the Vikings. New York is tied for last in the NFC East at 0-1 and will visit the Commanders on Sunday afternoon. The Yankees walked off with a 2-1 win over the Red Sox. In 10 innings at Yankee Stadium, Juan Soto drove in the game-winning run with an RBI double in the bottom of the 10th. Clay Holmes was credited with the victory. Can't believe I'm even saying that. After pitching 2/3 of a scoreless inning of relief, Gleyber Torres went deep with a solo shot in the bottom of the first. New York is now leading the AL East at 85-62 and will continue their 4-game series tonight in the Bronx. And the Mets continue their road trip tonight. New York is opening a 3-game series against the Phillies in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park. Jose Quintana is expected to make his 29th start of the season. The Mets are in the 3rd NL wildcard spot at 80-66. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:10.
Some comments I didn't get to. A lot of people ripping on Lou. Listen, you want to hear from other people.
Yeah, most certainly.
People who you don't agree with. Because how do you know you're right on something if you can't prove somebody else wrong, right? So, and a lot of people want to say, liberal Eli, the politics guy. Okay, all right.
That's awesome.
Doesn't have the same ring, Wayne. Julie, liberals have no common sense. Economics 101 class tells you about all the factors that affect the economy. Don't forget, that was nice. In the fantasy world of liberal Lou, Miami won last night. That was painful listening to him. Makes about as much sense as Kamala. And then, I got to tell you, John, we call him QAnon John for good reason. Do you want to hear his comments on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
John, I can't wait for you to come forward and reveal everything that's going to happen and when it's going to happen. I wish you would tell us when we can expect this major change that's going to happen in America. John said if one knew and read the current laws and orders in place, one would not watch the debate with a big smile, knowing it's all BS. Who took the picture of the first guy on the moon?
Oh, he's going down this road?
It's BS.
Oh, boy.
It's not real. Reading matters. Make reading comprehension great again, he says. Lou's head is going to explode. He hasn't said anything yet. It is bigger than he can. What is going to happen? And this is the part that I'm always interested in. What is about to happen is bigger than he can ever imagine. He don't know as much as he thinks. I'm no financial expert, but I know how to read. And then finally, expert economists will tell you what I'm saying. John, I'm still more confused than I was when I started. So I need your help. And maybe someday John can call in as opposed to typing in on YouTube. 315-736-0186.
Lance and Lee commenting with a little emoji here this morning. I think it's funny that you think that I might look like a liberal lesbian.
Okay. Well, that's funny. That was funny. At least he says something that was kind of funny.
It's got a little picture that looks, a little emoji that actually kind of looks like Rachel Maddow.
See, that might be a picture of her. Or maybe it's a little picture of him. Scott in Kirkville coming up. We're going to pick some games for the weekend heading in. And I also want to get his take on a surprising Syracuse. How good are they really? We'll get into it. Coming up at WIBX.
The Stanley Theater in downtown Utica presents 1964, The Tribute, the most authentic and endearing tribute to the Beatles. For those that never saw the Beatles live, this is as close as you can get to feeling the magic. 1964, The Tribute, live at the Stanley Theater in downtown Utica on Thursday, September 19th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit thestanley.org.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Is your business women-owned, been operating for more than a year, and located in Herkimer or Oneida County? Would you like to help your business grow? The Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is offering $5,000 grants to women-owned businesses in the area. The deadline to apply is Monday, September 30th, so why wait? Apply now at womensfundhoc.org. The Women's Fund of Herkimer and Oneida Counties, empowering women and girls, helping communities thrive for more than 25 years.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
At Mattress Express, we deliver quickly. If you've waited too long for your mattress to be delivered elsewhere, simply bring your receipt in. We will deliver the same or comparable mattress, and we will meet or beat the price and get it to you quickly. Come see us today.
On September 20th, our community will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, a 24-hour day of giving to benefit area nonprofits. Join us at givemb.org, and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley gives.
Shop with confidence at Mattress Express with our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally within 30 days of purchase, bring it to our attention. We simply refund the difference. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments.
Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Don Hartman and staff would like to invite you to save 30% on timeless treasures at the Potting Shed Antiques. For the entire month of September, enjoy 30% off the entire store, excluding gold jewelry and coins. Find unique items like furniture, lighting, stoneware, china, toys, glass, silver, costume jewelry, collectibles, and more. Visit us on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or online at thepottingshedantiques.com. Open Thursday through Saturday. Come find your next one-of-a-kind piece today at the Potting Shed Antiques.
I want to tell you, it is happening in Herkimer County. The Cheese Fest is coming up. The Garlic Festival is coming up. There are so many things. You can go to their website for all the details at Herkimer County. It is happening in Herkimer County. And right now, we want to remind you that there is a ribbon cutting and grand opening ceremony that will be happening next week on September 18th at 1 p.m. For the new Veterans Peer Support Project in the new center. The new facility is located at 25 Central Plaza in Ilion, a true testament to the community's unwavering and longstanding commitment to supporting veterans and their families. The center will be offering a wide range of services that include peer support, social events for veterans, disability claims, pensions, health care benefits, financial support, property tax exemption, requesting military records, etc. It is a veteran center for people in Herkimer County. It's a huge asset for the community, bringing U.S. Armed Forces veterans together and providing a welcoming place to connect and receive support. And you are invited to attend. It happens at the new location, 25 Central Plaza, next week, September 18th at 1 p.m. Again, 25, the old mall there in the village of Ilion. 25 Central Plaza in the village of Ilion.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, Andrew won't tell me. Andrew will not tell me what it is, except that there is a comment from Lance and Lee
that is far longer than I missed.
It is a fiery comment. And you implied that it is going to
fire you up,
fire me up more so than Kamala Harris ever could do to Donald Trump.
It's going to get right under you. It is the crowd size. It's Lance Lee's crowd size.
Because you're now talking, you instead of talking about crowd size, you're talking about audience size. You're like, your audience.
Maybe.
Your audience is getting bored with you and leaving before the end of the show.
Oh,
that's what Lance was doing right there.
That's right.
Piece of garbage. Here is Scott in Kirkville. Hello. Hello, Scott. Good morning.
Already? Wow. Yeah. Hey, listen, is that like a prelude to the good things to come? All right, yeah. Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
that's
listen,
right.
I'm doing my fair share to hype up your show up in Kirkville and Lakeport. I got a bumper sticker that says, "Honk if you can hear the Keeler show on 950 from 6 to 9." And I heard a lot of honking. Unfortunately, there's a flock of geese that was kind of going over the car at the same time.
Listen, I was driving in this morning, and there was the geese close, down low and coming in. It looked like a World War II movie with the Japanese planes coming in. I thought we were being attacked. Anyway, what do you think of Syracuse? What do you think?
As long as they're aggressive, what I've been saying for the longest time in college football, if you have a vertical passing game, you're going to be in every game. It's hard enough in the NFL to come up with 4 great defensive backs, let alone in college. They might have 1 on the team.
Yeah.
And as long as they can minimum protect and send 5 guys out in the pass pattern, somebody's going to be open. And right now, McCord is making the right decision.
Oh, he's accurate.
He's accurate, but he's also reading the defense. I like, when I had season tickets for the SU game, just sitting high up and seeing the pass patterns develop.
Right.
And a lot of times, those passes against Tech wasn't the primary receiver. You can tell he came off it because the way the defense, when they blitzed him, he knew exactly where the blitz was coming and actually threw it to that person.
Yeah.
From that side. He's amazing right now.
I got to tell you, and those receivers are spectacular.
Right now, absolutely. I think you can pencil in, and I think I mentioned on your show, but now you can actually bet I can't bet in the state of New York. You got to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But now even all the properties of the Turning Stone Prospect, the Yellow Brick, are allowing you to bet team totals over unders. You don't have to bet the whole game. You can bet the individual team. And I've told everybody that I consult with that you can pencil in Syracuse for 31 points each game. And last game was 29, and they had 31. But I don't see how this. I looked at what's on the schedule, and I've seen basically all the games except Holy Cross. I don't think we have to worry about Holy Cross. That there isn't a defense out there as long as we execute. The key part is, and last year, if you look at it, Schrader had Pena was hurt. Everybody was hurt, but we dropped a lot of third down passes in that Tech game. We caught the third down passes.
Yeah.
And that's big to keep drives going.
I'm very impressed. So I'm glad to see that. What do you think of Richard Pryor? Is your thoughts?
Richard Pryor. What you
don't think the coach looks like Richard Pryor a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the Deion Sanders look now. You notice him on national TV with a gray beard. Didn't understand what primetime what look he was going.
Well, he's
for,
not
but,
listen. He's not a coach as much as he is as a hype. I mean, he hypes everything.
Yeah,
he is a marketer, man. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And a recruiter.
You notice his headset, his microphone's always straight up, so you know he's not talking to nobody.
Right, that's right.
So,
all right,
his CEO and stuff.
I know you want to give a couple of NFL picks for the weekend before we get there.
NFL picks?
Kathy, or whatever picks, or whatever you have. But before we go there, Kathy in Rome has a question for you.
Hey, Michigan State plays
Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Yeah,
good. I missed part of the race of the latter half of the racing season. I had eye surgery.
Oh, jeez. Well, I don't know if you listen though. We on the Keeler show we had the winner in the Travers. We were all over the 8, and then actually the one was the Philly finished second. It was a great exact $56 he got for a $2 bet. So
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Help you listen to the Keeler show and be able to put
make
it in
those picks, Kathy. Yeah.
They're playing Prairie View this week, Michigan State,
Yes, I'm hoping they keep their 2-0 record going. I think maybe they got the right coach this time.
Okay.
Well, he's a type of coach that has won without great personnel. Up in Oregon State, he was competitive, and so I think he knows how to win without having to have the the 5-star players and he's in the right league for, because there's a lot of plotters in the Big Ten. And so you're right. That was a great comeback on Maryland. I mean, that was interesting on the road. That was real good win.
So I'm amazed that he brought a lot of the Oregon players transferring to Michigan State. I think that'll help put some new blood in the game. All right. It's good to hear everybody.
Kathy, thank you.
Take care.
The game's on the Big Ten Network, by the way, if you're looking for it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Kathy.
There she goes. There's Kathy. All right. Your picks for the weekend. What do you have for people?
Okay. Let me say this. Like I said, I've had very good success with this new just bet the team over under compared to having to worry about both teams scoring. And let me go college first because Last week I had over Boise State 20 when they're playing Oregon, and that's what the thing is. Purdue's playing Notre Dame, and I think it's gone up since I had to put it in because I knew it was going to go up. But Purdue is playing at home against Notre Dame. According to Vegas, Purdue's over-under is only 15 points.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there going, if they can't score 17 against Notre Dame's defense, it's going to be a heck of a long season. So that's the first thing that caught my eye. If you went to the pros the same way, it's a low over/under for the Ravens against the Raiders. And I think that, first of all, the Ravens have been off since week ago Thursday. And I think they got a little embarrassed in the Kansas City game, and they did move the ball against Kansas City's D. That just take the Baltimore over/under. It's going to be around 26. So they can't score at least 28 against the Raiders at home with all this rest. That's going to be, kind of, disappointing since this is supposed to be the new improved offense.
Yeah. They
added Henry and everything else. Also, the same reason Philadelphia is playing Atlanta on Monday Night Football. And there's below 28, and Atlanta playing outside the dome. Philadelphia added a new offensive coordinator. I think they want to show up Hurts. I thought that over 26-27 was good too. But it's a new way of looking at stuff. Because
so you don't like this. So, for instance, in the Notre Dame Purdue game, you can find a bet through Vegas where you can just do the over/under for an individual team.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to give things that you can do actually locally. I know you can do it. You can do anything on the mobile phone. Now, I know if your listeners have that ability to do it. What I would try to give out is what you can get actually at the Turning Stone, Brick, and Point Place. And last year they didn't do this. Now I could have got it, and I did it.
Yeah. So the over/under on Notre Dame Purdue is 47
on
the game.
That's probably gone up. When I bet it on Monday, because I knew it wasn't going to go up, it was 15, and the over/under was only 45. And what you can kind of look at is the point spread and start fooling around with it, because if Notre Dame's a 10-point favorite, everything's got it up to 47. So if they're a 10-point favorite, and so how much, you just do the math.
Yeah.
That what they have to score in 10. And subtract 10.
37-10.
That comes out to 47 and stuff.
Right.
Well, 37-27 is 64. So you know that. So that's what I'm saying. If it has up to, if you're a 10-point favorite, they're about a 27, 28. So subtract 10. So probably right now, Purdue's up to close to 17. Probably right now.
Okay. Again, you got to find a place. Maybe it's the Turning Stone where you could actually place that bet. So,
well, that's exactly why I'm giving it, because last year you couldn't do it. Now you can.
All right.
And so that's what I've been doing. In fact, I'll tell you a classic example was Dallas against Cleveland. I go up there Sunday. The over/under on Dallas was 20 because they were the underdog. So they're not going to be more than the favorite. The over/under, I think, was only 43 to start with. And I thought that was a gift. And, of course, you saw what happened. But, hey, I was thinking – maybe can I get maybe a sponsor for my little segment?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I had a couple of mine.
The Rim Shot, brought to you by Rim Shot.
There you go. I had a couple of mine. Do you guys still advertise with Little Falls Lumber?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, catchphrase: when it's time to lay the wood down, go to Little Falls Lumber.
I love it.
Yeah. How about the Waterfront Grill down there? And Herkimer there.
Rocky Fiato, Rocky and Barb. Yeah.
Yep. Come for the food, stay for the canal tour. How's that?
Okay, that's nice. It's accurate. It's actually accurate.
You got the little room. And then how about Babes? Okay, Babes.
Babes.
Every time, Babes, every meal is a home run. How's that?
Every meal is a home run. Hey, what do you think, quickly before I let you go, the Mets' chances? This is really
a great chance.
It's a rough run, though. They've got 7 of their next 10 games with Philadelphia. They really need to go back on a winning streak, and that would change everything. But short of if they go 500 on this trip, they're really going nowhere. It all depends on what's Atlanta doing. I don't know.
Well, here's a little hidden nugget. Okay, two of the teams that are chasing are from the Western Division.
Yeah.
They play each other in a 3-game series at the end. So somebody's going to lose 2 out of 3.
That's helpful right there. Yep. All right.
San Diego and Arizona. So if they're close, and they can, at the end, if they can get on a hot streak, somebody's losing 2 out of 3, and they're only a game back. They could sneak in that way too.
All right, Scott. As always, we appreciate it. Win a lot of money this weekend. Okay.
We'll do, and hopefully, my picks were good. And if you're looking for something, just a straight over tonight. In fact, if you're looking for looking for teams that Syracuse is going to play, good week. UNLV, Kansas tonight. Boston College, Missouri. But take the over 56 in the Kansas UNLV game tonight.
Okay.
Both teams should be scoring.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day. I'm not sure that you realize this, but he didn't want to do that. He makes a ton of money.
Yeah,
betting sports.
He's like a mastermind.
He is
a whiz.
All right, the movie Reagan. I think we're all very intrigued by the movie, and actually did quite well at the box office. I still struggle a little bit with
Quaid as Reagan.
Yeah, only because you know him as and I won't know until you see the movie. Do you lose yourself, and does your mind say that's Ronald Reagan and not Dennis Quaid?
Yeah, like the whole time during Lincoln, I thought that's Daniel Day-Lewis.
You did think that?
No, I didn't.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he was very good.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Now, the guy, Robert Davey, that we're going to talk to is an award-winning actor, screenwriter, director, producer, and also a jazz vocalist. He plays a role in the Reagan movie. He plays Brezhnev. And Robert Davey is on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, and it's Davi. I'm Italian. Sicilian and Napolitan, and we pronounce it Davi, but it's great to meet you guys.
We're apologizing about that.
Davi. Sorry. Robert Davi, my apologies. So, and listen, we're in a very Italian area here, Utica, New York.
You should have known.
I know.
A lot of Italian food up here.
A lot of paisans up in Utica.
Yeah.
I know it. I've been there when I was in Hofstra University. We had a theater competition up at Utica. And so I know it from back in the day.
So tell me about the movie. And by the way, it did quite well at the box office.
Well, it's interesting. The audience give it a 98 percentile, and the reviewers are giving it not a very good review.
Yeah.
And that kind of falls in line with the media.
Right.
When you see the debate the other night, when you know that ABC gave Kamala Harris 100% positive feedback reviews over the course of her thing, and Trump got 93% negative. And when I directed the film My Son Hunter, all the left-wing media poo-pooed my film because they said, there was no such thing as a laptop, until the New York Times came out and said, excuse me, we have to admit there is a laptop. And it's kind of absurd because Merrick Garland came out the other day with a wonderful big speech about this, that, and the other thing. But yet there were 51 people that denied there was a laptop, all from the intel and justice community. And you have the Russian collusion by Schiff. You've got the Steele dossier, but no mention of that. So people should just pretend we don't see what we see. Dennis Quaid does a terrific job as Reagan. It's always difficult to play a historical figure.
It is, and that's that I think is the hardest part. Is that Reagan is so iconic and so it is so difficult. It's tough to play
You almost don't want to be doing like a cheap impression. You got to kind of like toe the line a little bit.
He makes it his own.
Yeah.
I saw the film with an audience. People loved the film. They were moved by the film. I get messages from people all over the place that are watching this film, whether it's on X or Instagram or personally that or on Facebook. They saw the film. They loved the film. They went to see it again. And Penelope Ann Miller, the love affair between Ronnie and her, and John Voight does a great character as this Russian operative that kind of narrates through the whole thing, because Reagan's big thing was the Communist Party, of course, which and communism since the 40s. Actually, Reagan fought the Communist Party in Hollywood since the 1940s. I don't know if you know that.
Well, of course, the McCarthy situation. It was somewhat that was
before McCarthy.
Yeah, I understand that.
McCarthy.
Yep.
There was a meeting of the Communist Party in Hollywood through the unions at Ida Lupina's house. That's like saying Meryl Streep's house in 1946.
Yep.
And George Clooney and all those people were there. William Holden, great actor of the day, told Reagan about this. Reagan comes to the meeting. Reagan comes to that meeting, wants to speak. He's shouted down by the left. And John Garfield gets on a chair and says he has a right to speak. He should speak. Reagan did, and years later, Sterling Hayden, the actor in The Godfather, who punches Al Pacino and the captain of the police, said that Ronald Reagan was a one-man wrecking crew of the Communist Party in Hollywood.
Wow.
So that's not in the film, but other things are in the film when he fought the unions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a very, very, it affects you. And I'm cynical as anyone, you know what I mean? I'm ready to look at it and go, all right. But I was moved by it, and I have 2 songs in it. I sing, as you know, and there are 2 moments I have songs that I did in, and I play Leonid Brezhnev, leader of the Soviet Union. Very interesting.
So, and that's very interesting too, because I was looking at the comparison of your photo to Brezhnev's photo, and I obviously he was a little heavier, but boy, I can see it. I can see how you can get there.
Yeah, I got there, and he had these interesting eyebrows that we put on.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a picture. Yeah, I don't know if there's a picture of that around. I have a picture of myself. I don't know if they had that put out there, but it's the attitude. I researched Brezhnev very intensely because when I tour the world, I also go to the Baltics, and I also filmed in Moscow in 2008. And I questioned people about Brezhnev, and he was loved as a leader in the Soviet Union, and he also loved American culture. He loved American cars, American John Wayne, and he loved the Westerns. And he liked Ronald Reagan, actually.
Yeah.
So this is not in the film, but during my research, I have to build a profile, because you never take a character as an actor and approach him as a little part.
Right.
I say to myself, this movie is about this character. So at this particular point in his life, when he was addicted to some pills because of his pain from the war, when he had the Soviets had the war in battle. So, but the film is important to see.
Yeah. I totally agree, and I am going to see it. How do you handle the accent? That's probably they
have coaches and stuff.
Probably
for that?
was the easiest part for you, I would think.
Well, first off, I'm very good at accents. I did a film that's on Netflix right now where you'd swear I was an Orthodox Jew. It's a true story called Bardejov, about a Slovakian town where I saved 300 girls from Auschwitz, produced by a Holocaust survivor. And that's gotten great reviews. And I played a Palestinian in 1988 where people thought I was Palestinian. And I'm just adept because of I played Scottish, I played Irish. I have a musical ear, and you kind of distill the accent, you learn the accent. In Bond, I played the Colombian drug lord, very light accent because they wanted something light.
Yeah.
But I'm very adept at accents and can pretend.
Yeah. And it is sad that and a shame that this movie, during this very political time that we live in right now, where you do have a liberal versus conservative problem, where the entire country should embrace this. Ronald Reagan was one of our great presidents, and you would hope at this point, it's been this long that people would treat it that way, but it's not. There's been controversy around this.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you should get the quote. I forget exactly what it is, so I don't want to misquote it. But you could find the quote where Reagan says, if communism were ever to come to this nation, it will come in the form of liberalism. And why?
Yeah.
And he was so astute on that, and we see it happening. Look at that fraud of a debate that was the other night, when we know that ABC did 100% positive stories on Kamala Harris going into the debate and 93 negative against Trump. And the American people have been bamboozled. They have been bamboozled. Kamala Harris is almost like an Obama clone, the way she moves her hands, the way she talks, and that's okay.
Well, I think if you ask a Democrat, they'd be happy about that. And that's where you are today. That's where we are today in politics.
I'm saying, but that's why she can't do interviews, because it has to be a studied script. Even I saw her the other day. Here she just had the debate. She should have these things at the tip of her finger.
Yeah.
And she was reading from a prompter. So come on. this debate stuff, guys, is bull garbage.
Blank. Yeah.
The debate should have Kamala go to a Trump rally and have him duke it out, and have Trump go to a Kamala Harris and duke it out, and talk to the American people.
Yeah,
I don't want moderation.
I do get frustrated in these debates when, and this happened I have to say, I heard the Harris supporters complaining. I heard Trump supporters complaining that every time they had something else to say or to respond to something, they said, nope, we're done with that line of questioning. We're going on. Where we as the audience are sitting there saying, no, I want to hear what they have to say.
It's like their moderators are making it more about them.
And I heard that from both. I heard those complaints from both sides. The Trump, though, you have to, Robert, you cannot deny the fact that some of the comments, some of the stuff, the dogs and the cats thing. I mean, even Lindsey Graham is like, this was horrible, a bad move in his campaign. He just should have stuck to policy.
Let me tell you something. I understand where you're coming from, and I the thing that got me was when we know she's going to stick a hat pin in him with the rally.
Yes, we know it's coming.
That's coming.
Yes,
and he bought into it, and I saw that look on his face. His eyes, shit. Excuse my French. He's getting affected by that. He shouldn't. And but that's not Trump. Trump is authentic. Like him or not, he's the most authentic person in political office we have ever seen.
Yep.
He's absolutely authentic, and that's what you're going to get. I remember in Hollywood, guys, when many people loved him. I love him. I love Ronald Reagan. He's Donald Trump. He's fantastic. Trump's fantastic. I want to have him. Yeah, look at this art of the deal here.
Yeah.
I mean, people loved him. Now people don't like him because he went into politics. He won the NAACP award. They called him racist. You had the Steele dossier. You had this, all the garbage that Merrick Garland was talking about the other day, but yet he didn't bring up the 51 Intel people that said there was no laptop. And I directed the film My Son Hunter. So it's absurd. Yes, there could have been a stylistic difference.
Well, it's kind of these things are all true, but at the end of the day, he still has to, in order to make his supporters happy, he still has to win. And authentic or not, it did not help him one bit, I'm afraid, during that debate.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did.
It's very interesting. Let me just give you a funny part about Donald Trump. Yeah. Have you ever heard of John Trump?
Was that? I only know that he had a brother. I don't know who John is.
That was his brother Robert. John Trump was his uncle.
Okay.
When Nikola Tesla died, now I want the audience to hear this. When Tesla died, he was working on Long Island, where I grew up, at Wardenclyffe. He was creating an energy machine where we can extract energy from, like the airwaves, like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
He says energy is available as that. Okay. When he died, he was living in a little hotel, he died penniless, in New York, and the FBI and CIA were on the same floor, and he had 70 boxes of different experiments. They confiscated that when he died and brought it to MIT, the head of physics at MIT. Mm-hmm. The head of physics was a guy named John Trump. They said, what's he working on? Okay. Now, when Reagan when you hear about the Star Wars defense, it comes out of conversations from John Trump. The Iron Dome that's in Israel. So Trump was in that office when Reagan gave him the Medal of Freedom. And people, it's so the dog and cat thing. I'm seeing more and more things that are saying that is happening. I saw a guy this morning, early, that was ripping the head off a cat. Now, you say to yourself, but we've heard this stuff, but it gets suppressed.
Yeah.
Things get suppressed, and I know it sounds...
It does. It sounds a little QAnon-y. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it can sound that way, but I think let's see what happens.
Let's see. And of course, the people there, which was one of the things that David Muir said, they spoke to people in that, and it actually didn't apparently even happen there. It happened somewhere else in Ohio.
My brother, 51 people in Intel in America, high up there.
Yeah.
The highest up there. 51 said there was no laptop.
So I'm beginning to get the vibe that you're voting for Kamala Harris. I'm kind of getting the feeling. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm joking with you.
It's about voting. It's about voting for the truth.
Yes.
It's about voting for this country. Now, when you say 51 people said there was no laptop, and I then do the movie and the research, and I see what happened and the corruption, then you can't say to yourself, you have to say to yourself, what's going on here?
Yeah, what's happening?
If you have any kind of intelligence, you have to say, wait a second. Yeah, all right, David Muir said, well, we checked it out with the City Council. You know, that's a lot of hooey, too. Who the hell knows this is? You have to.
Well, I just for the record, I'm not buying the dog and cat story, and I'm sorry for that. But the rest of it, I think is very impressive, and I appreciate it all. And we're speaking with Robert Davi, an award-winning actor who was in the movie Reagan as Brezhnev, and it is a movie that you really have to see. It's in theaters now, but will at some point be streaming. You'll be able to catch it at home. But you play that role, and you play it very well, Robert.
Thank you. And Brezhnev loves dogs and cats. Just so you know.
Okay. Listen, I'm going home to eat my wife's cat, so I'm going to have a little salt and pepper with it. And
can I ask you, if you find out that this is happening,
I promise you, I'm calling you back, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to shout from the tallest building that it really did happen. So
that it was, that would be interesting.
That it was real.
You know?
Robert Davi, thank you so much for the time. I really enjoyed it, and can't wait to see you in this movie.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
so
sir.
Much. Nice talking to you guys.
Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
We'll break and come back. I got a bunch of comments to get into there. I didn't know we were going to get down the dog and cat thing, go down that road.
I did not either.
But I got to tell you something. A little salt, little pepper, and muffin. It's going to be quite a morning for me. Got a break at WIBX.
Don't pass up your chance to save big at Destination Kia of Utica.
With no money down leases on over 400 new Kias.
Like a brand new 2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive for just $398 a month for 36 months.
And that's with zero down, zero due at inception, even sales tax included.
An all-wheel drive SUV, no money down, $398 per month. Now that's cookie. Make that short drive and choose from 400 new Kias in one location.
So go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2024 Kia Sportage LX, STK number 25T0061, MSRP $30,540, 36 months, 30,000 mile lease, 20 cents per mile over, $0 due to inception, $0 security deposit, 8.75% sales tax, and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure, $400 disposition fee, 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 9/30/2024.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Have you been thinking about buying a new hot tub or spa? Now is the time. Liverpool Pool and Spa has a large selection of American-made spas and hot tubs. Enjoy year-round for both relaxation and hydrotherapy. Fast delivery and installation available, as well as local service and support long after the sale. Financing options also available for qualified buyers. Stop into the Rome location today on 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome, or visit liverpoolpoolandspa.com for more information. Don't just dream it, live it.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-518-1409.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-518-1409. That's 800-518-1409.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey everyone, Lisa here from Fit Body Bootcamp in Whitesboro and Clinton. Are you ready to fall back into that fitness routine? As the seasons transform, why not transform your fitness goals too? Here at Fit Body Bootcamp, we can help you create those healthy habits, and yes, our coaches are ready to help you lose the weight for the very last time. What are you waiting for? Join us today for free because we are the best of the best fitness center for 3 years in a row. Call us or find us on Facebook to start your journey.
You're drained, Andrew. Literally. So I'm talking about
Pipes
Monday.
come unclogged.
Talking about Monday because I don't want to hear from Richard. You
shouldn't even.
I'll explain in a second. Because I don't want to hear it. I will explain in a second. Listen, and Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading flooring store for flooring. If it's flooring, where else would you go? Why would you go anywhere else? It's the perfect place because it has the largest inventory, the largest selection. There's so much to choose from. You get things that are unique, tile that's unique, products that are unique. Pergo Extreme, there's the 60-mile radius price guarantee. Within a 60-mile radius, guaranteed price. The lowest price you're going to get anywhere on that amazing product. And there's the interest-free financing, 6 months of interest-free financing right now at Insera's. If you need flooring, whether it's carpeting, linoleum, tile, hardwoods, or the many other products that are out there, you will not find a larger selection than the one at Insera's Flooring Outlet. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online, InserasFlooringOutlet.com.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Also, just before we get out of here, to let you know, September is the month of savings. Portions of the program brought to you by Fred F. Collis Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Fred F. Collis and Sons. You can take advantage of some great rebates and, in some cases, have everything paid for. National Grid, Carrier, Clean Heat New York, all have rebates that are substantially significant. They, in some cases, pay for the entire project. And you can rely on Collis to walk you through it all because finding them and signing up and seeing if you qualify, not necessarily easy. Collis will do that for you. And NYSERDA's Empower Plus program includes home energy upgrades, including upgrades to insulation, heat pumps, hybrid water heaters, up to $5,000 for a family that makes $93,000 income for the entire family. Would get $5,000 to $24,000 in upgrades. Just call Collis today, 315-860-1301. All right, Andrew, we have till the top of the hour. That gives me 5 minutes.
Yes.
You have some comments.
I have one comment.
What I was going to say
Lance.
is I have a colonoscopy on Monday at 9 a.m.
Okay.
So that means that I will be prepping starting
Sunday,
later in the day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Midday to later in the day. So that means I'm not going to feel like coming in Monday. But I am not going to listen to Richard yell
you're
about
not gonna take another day
how
off.
lazy I am. And I'm coming in, I think.
Good.
If not, you're on your own, Andrew.
Lance and Lee.
I think I can make it. What do you get a little dehydrated? Give me a break. It'll be fine.
Come on.
I might actually do the colonoscopy right here in the studio.
That's all right. You don't have to do that.
Comment
Please,
from Lance.
A little bit lengthy, and then there's an additional one. Bill, the new medicine must be making your skin thinner. On a side note, the start of the debate the other night, David Muir's first question was about the economy being the thing on most Americans' minds. I started screaming at the TV. David, you dummy! Bill Keeler and his wife say that the most important thing is abortion regulations, so I turned it off and watched the Woodstock documentary so I could watch Griffo and the champagne bottle go at it.
Is he done?
And then he said, now that I'm labeled as a liberal lesbian, any shot of getting Red a little more camera time. Oh.
Is he done?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I never said the economy is a huge part of this election. But what he said is that no one cares about the abortion issue. And I'm sorry, I have to disagree with it. Not only disagree with it, but you're wrong. Especially with people 35 and under. It is a big deal, and it's a huge deal for women. And if you think that isn't playing a role in this upcoming election in getting people out that probably would not even vote, then you are living with your head in the sand somewhere, wherever it is that you really live. Because I don't think it's in Lee.
You don't think so?
It's not in Lee. He's not from Lee. Okay. I know everyone who lives in Lee.
You do?
And there's no Lance there.
Okay.
I've looked it up. There ain't no Lance there.
You've dug deep.
I have dug very, very deep.
Okay.
Donna said, you mean I'm going to miss the good... She's not going to be able to listen on Monday to watch you darting to the bathroom during the show on Monday.
He might.
I do not expect it. I think by the time I get in here, I will be pretty much cleaned out.
Oh, good. Thank God.
In addition to Liberal Lou being cousins with John Zogby, perhaps he's also related to the actor you just had on. Wow. I did not expect that we were going to go down the road of the dog and cat thing. But I got to tell you, I do think it's a movie that I want to see, and I think that...
I'll see it when it comes to streaming.
I'm going to see it when it comes to streaming.
To go to a theater nowadays, it has
probably
to be
not. I still
really
struggle with Dennis Quaid playing Reagan, to be honest with you. But it will be something that I think is certainly worth seeing out there. A couple of other comments before we go. Andrew, do you run your real estate enterprise like Trump? How do you answer that?
I do not.
You don't want to dig in. Not yet. Okay.
Yeah. We do want to also, I got to plug this quickly. I'm sorry. The Kurt B. Wyman Memorial Motorcycle Ride tomorrow. Registration at 8:30. Kickstands up at 10 a.m. And then an awesome event afterward at the Kurt B. Wyman Memorial Park.
And John, QAnon John, before I leave, TikTok, the world will all know what I say is true. It's coming after the election. I got to go. Kill Meat is coming up next. Enjoy your weekend. It's going to be beautiful and sunny and warm. Enjoy.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Instead of building jets, they're holding signs. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 33,000 Boeing workers started that strike just after midnight, most of them near Seattle, Washington.
The whole contract's unfair. They're taking too much away from us without giving us anything.
They want pensions brought back and 40% pay raises. Boeing's offering 25%. Fox Business Network's Lauren Simonetti reports it's the
first strike at Boeing since 2008 during the financial crisis that cost them $100 million a day. And it could throw a wrench in their already fragile supply chain. The strike will likely lead to a massive production delay at a time when they're trying to increase plane production. This strike affects the workers that make the 737 MAX.
Those are Boeing's most popular, and it's